Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For 31 years and counting, Community State Bank has taken great pride in being your hometown bank. With branches located in Cashion, Dover, and Hennessy, CSB strives to reflect the small-town hospitality these communities are known for. Our friendly staff is here to serve you and provide one of the best banking experiences around, equipping our customers with the latest in banking technology combined with a personal, down-home relationship. Come into one of our local branches or visit us at www.mycsb.com. Community State Bank, small-town banking, the way it should be. Member FDIC. Christy Perry is a Cashion-based attorney providing clients in Oklahoma with trusted, experienced legal counsel regarding wills and trusts, bankruptcy, and other areas of law. Flexible scheduling is available to discuss your options, and your first consultation is free. If you need assistance regarding a legal matter, call your local Oklahoma licensed attorney, Christy Perry, at 918-373-0882.
Our world is changing, but one thing is the same. We're here for you. In these uncertain times, take comfort in knowing that modern women of America is built for this. We are built to handle uncertainties, and we've weathered many in the past 137 years, including world wars, disease outbreaks, depressions, and recessions. You may have concerns about your financial plan, but you can also have peace of mind. You got this, because you have us.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Woody, and I want to help you or a loved one navigate your way through understanding Medicare. It's hard getting questions answered when you don't know who to call or trust. I am local and appointed with all the insurance carriers in Oklahoma. You can trust me to help you apply for Medicare, make the right decisions based on your current financial and healthcare needs, and feel confident about your future. Act quickly. Annual enrollment period is October 15th to December 7th. Call Stephanie Woody, that's me, at 405-830-4966 to set up an appointment.
Kyle and Gina Van Druff have the answers to all your real estate and insurance needs. These guys will have you covered in a one-stop shopping experience. They are local agents, local supporters, and active in the Cashion community. They are also proud parents of past and present Cashion students. Kyle and Gina help their clients make the right choice. Don't wait till it's too late. Call 405-607-4300. Go Wildcats and number 88. Let's have a great year.
Walk it up. Get you some.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Founded by Jesse and Amy McCracken, Rural Pest Solutions is a Cashion-based, family-owned and operated company. Our focus is on providing the highest level of customer service while effectively treating many common invaders, including spiders, ants, roaches, mice, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, and termites. Flexible scheduling and superior customer service are our top priority. Call us today to schedule your appointment. 405-283-6565.
Cashion FBC is a church seeking to grow in Christ and our love for the body of Christ. With ministries from children to youth to adults, we strive to present the gospel in an engaging and meaningful way. Sunday school meets at 9:45 a.m. and worship starts at 11 a.m. Children and youth meet on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Please check our website at cashionfbc.org for more information, and we hope to see you this Sunday, located a half-mile east of Cashion.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
All right, Championship Saturday live on Cashion Wildcats TV. You guys have been waiting all season. We have too, and we finally have made it. December 11th, 1 p.m. The Cashion Wildcats, ranked number 1 in Class A, 13-1, will be taking on the 14-0 Ringling Blue Devils for a gold ball. It's almost like same verse, new song situation, but Cashion Wildcats making their 3rd trip to state. I'm Eamon Abavi, my man Chris Gibson. We got Drew Baker, and of course Silky Smooth, my man Chad Tishner, will be doing play-by-play as I will be chewing my nails and running back and forth on the sideline today. But we are super blessed. Don't ever take these days for granted, as the Cashion Wildcats are looking to go back-to-back state champions here in Class A. Chris, I say it every single week. It's an exciting day. How could you not be pumped up?
Hey, every day you get to play a football game is a day that you should be excited. And to be playing on the very last day of, football, high school football in Oklahoma, you can't beat it. And the thing is, being this is the 3rd year in a row that we've been in this situation, I think these kids are just kind of – I asked you, I said, how are the kids, how are the boys acting, and he said, well, at the house last night there was a bunch of them over, and there's just, like it was just another week, and I'm driving on the way up here, and I'm shaking. I mean, I'm like, I get excited. I don't even get on the field, but that's the thing. These coaches have these kids prepared. They're ready to roll, and it's just another week for them, but I guarantee you it's going to be one thing that they look back on. You talked about it at some point in their life and go, man, that was a great time in our life, and it's going to be a fun day. Yeah, absolutely. Living in the moment is the mantra for these guys. It spills over to basketball and into baseball as well. They're just there and present, and they live it, they enjoy it, and something I guess we all can appreciate. But joining us in the booth again is our sideline, is our inside the scoop guy, is everything guy, Drew Baker. Drew, welcome, and I'm sure as a former Cashion football alum, I know there's got to be, and having played in this game, I know there's probably a lot of anxiety, but also excitement as well.
Yeah, a lot of excitement, and I'm glad he mentioned, back 3 years in a row in our show before the Pep Assembly on Thursday, Cashion and O'Keene are the only 2 schools in Class A that have made it to the state championships 3 years in a row. Well, I went back and looked at that, and I think somebody else, Cashion Football Facts put it out there. I think Ringling had Ringling 3 also.
87, 89.
87, 88, 89, but nobody's won it back-to-back since O'Keene.
Yeah, O'Keene, they did back-to-back, and I think that's what it was. Cashion and O'Keene, if Cashion wins this game, hopefully they will. I know we all want them to. They'll be in that category with O'Keene for back-to-back state championship appearances, back-to-back wins also, including the 3 in a row there. So it's super exciting. I know all the coaches and all the guys were super pumped up about it this week.
Well, we're super blessed to be here. We're super blessed to be following this team again for the last 3 years, and definitely this year's been a fantastic run. And we're also super blessed to have Silky Smooth Chad Tishner on the call again for us. This will be a radio broadcast, an audio only, but we are working on with our fine partners at Squirtle, with Corey Rogers in the group, Adam Dieselhorst. We've got Mark Parrott on the camera, so we're going to look to see if the outcome is a pro-Cashion outcome. We'll definitely look to see how we can overlay the video with this broadcast for some level of memory and to go back and watch. But Chad, welcome. You do a fantastic job for us. We're super lucky to have you in general. Thoughts, being up here for a 3rd straight year?
Oh, just so blessed and excited for another state championship football game with these guys, and just really looking forward to, I think what we're going to get is a very clean game. You got a lot of seniors on both sides of the football, a lot of guys that are seniors and underclassmen for that matter, who have been in one of these contests before. So, sometimes you get in these championship game moments, whatever sport it is, and people have been here for the first time. We see some jitters. We see some, maybe some performances that aren't up to the quality of their normal, performance. And so I'm looking forward to just a clean, fun game. I think it's going to be a very competitive game, and I think it's going to come down to the playmakers,
Yeah.
and I like ours, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, spot on. I've had a chance to talk to Chris Lincoln, guys out of Ardmore, people all over the state from the franchise, et cetera, asking about this game, and the sentiment is everyone is really looking forward to it. In fact, there's a prominent writer here in Oklahoma City who feels like this will probably be the game of all the state title games. So certainly going to be a good one. A big shout out to our man Ethan Sutkin as well. Ethan is a former Cashion alum, or not a former Cashion alum. He is an alum, former Cashion sharpshooter on the basketball court. We absolutely love Ethan. He's a big part of the Squirtle family. He'll be running the essentially the scorecast. Is that what we're calling it? Gamecast? I apologize.
So if you're watching the screen, that's kind of what it's going to look, and you see the game log there, and Ethan's going to be typing in each play just like ESPN, baby.
Yeah, so while we don't have video, we'll have Chad and Ethan being the eyes and ears for us here on the field, and we're super blessed to have Ethan. Just been, again, a phenomenal partner for us, technical, among other things, so as well as equipment. So with that, let's at least break down how Cashion got here. So if you didn't follow us, if you weren't one of the 13,000 folks that tuned in to watch last week's game, you're bad. As Coach Shack will always like to offer up. But it was a great one as the Cashion Wildcats victorious over the Pawhuska Huskies. Another epic battle. It was version 2.0 in the semifinals. And it was the Cashion Wildcats winning another close one, 35-31, behind the arms and legs of Ben Harmon. He was fantastic on the night. Not a whole lot of passing, but certainly when we needed it, it counted as Mason Manning had 2 catches for 86 yards and a key touchdown. Lagasse had 2 receptions for 62 on that one-hand grab over Mason Gilkey for the 44-yard bomb. It was an amazing game. Nick Nababi chipped in. It was the workhorse, 29 carries for 216, or that says 189 on there. I think it was 216. We'll get on top of Lane, lessons with Lane on the stats. But certainly it was a balanced affair for the Cashion Wildcats. Expect to see that tonight as the Wildcats amassed almost 500 yards on I would say a really impressive Pawhuska defense. Chris and group, thoughts on game last week? Just a couple thoughts as we move through into this game today.
That game last week, we talked about it 2 years ago in Pawhuska and said, this is going to be a high-scoring affair, and it was just defense dominated, and it was 7-6. Last week was kind of that game that everybody was looking for, and we got it, and it was fun. I mean, it was one of those games where it was back and forth, and I talked to a lot of people that listened to the game, and it was they just said it was a roller coaster of emotions, and how many people were saying I needed some heart medicine after that game, but the kids on the field didn't seem that way. I mean, it was like, we got down, just came out and did their thing and got back on top, and it was like, almost when you got to that 3.5-minute mark of that game, it was almost eerily similar to the game before, the previous year with Pawhuska was we got the lead, you got 3.5 minutes to stop them and go win the game and go to this championship game, and that's exactly what the boys did. It was fun, and you see all the stats there, and it wasn't a snore fest by any means. It was just back and forth, a heavyweight bout where both teams were trying to throw that knockout punch, and Cashion got that last blow in with that Mason Manning touchdown and got to the state championship game for the 3rd time in a row.
Yeah, Drew, you were on your way to Dallas. I know you were probably
big disappointment. I should have been in Pawhuska if I knew what the future held. I would have just stuck around for the Pawhuska game.
No.
But go Pokes, whatever.
Loyal and true.
Hey, at least he was smarter than I am. I got up at 4:30 to go the next morning. So.
But yeah, talking about listening to the Pawhuska game, I listened to that on the way down there, and it was so similar to the one that was in Pawhuska when it was freezing cold, 2 years ago. Just back and forth, roller coaster of emotions. But Cashion played better than Pawhuska did. That's kind of the end of that deal. And unfortunately, Pawhuska's out. But I'm glad Cashion's playing Ringling today. So I think, like what Chad said, the boys, they don't seem nervous at all this week going into this game. I think you're going to see just well executed football played, and it's going to be it may be a roller coaster of emotion for us, but I think for them it's going to be kind of this methodical, it's game time attitude.
All right, we've got about 35 minutes till kickoff. Chad, you mentioned that you did go to the game and woke up the next morning to go head out to Dallas for the Big 12 championship game. From your perspective, I know you've been a long-time Cashion guy. You've seen a lot. In terms of the game itself, how does it rank for you in terms of some of the other games that you've seen in Cashion play?
Well, I think this game, really, I know Ringling is a lot different than Pawhuska, but the nuts and bolts of it is, you have to pick your poison with Cashion. And you know, I think having looked back through this whole season, I thought about it this week, is Rejoice Christian in week 1 and Pawhuska last week, to me, were the only two teams that had athletes that could match up with Cashion's athletes one-on-one on the perimeter.
Right.
And just say, okay, we're going to take our chances here. We're going to try to stop the run. And we might put one over the top every once in a while, but we're just going to try to lock up one-on-one. And, you know, that kind of, those things kind of even out, those matchups. Haven't really seen it throughout the rest of the year. And I think it's interesting tonight to see, you know, watch a little film, and that Ringling might prove me wrong, and I'm not sure they can match up one-on-one with our athletes on outside. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. You know, if they're going to, you know, put a shell out there or go too deep. And you know, if they do that, I think you'll see Nick and Ben, who both proved last week that against a great defense, a well-prepared defense, athletic defense, they can chew up a lot of yards real quick if you choose to take away the big play.
Absolutely, and that Ringling or that Pawhuska team, I'm telling you, they've got 2 kids that are going to be going D1, lower, you know, FCS on the defensive side. Jack Long as well as the Lasharo Wildcat. I mean, they have a lot of offers to go FCS. So that and again, Coach Hennessy puts together a strong physical team as well. So, you know, I agree with that sentiment. Well, let's kind of skip over to the kind of how both teams got here. Again, we appreciate you guys joining us here on Cashion Wildcats TV, powered by Squirtle. So the road to Richardson, we've been following it for Cashion. Obviously, it was started off with Dibble, Hooker 10-2 with a blowout there. Woodland, I wouldn't call it a blowout, but I think we were in control of that game for the most part from beginning to end. Again, finishing 10-3. And that monster epic game against Pawhuska. Again, you'll notice 3 teams with double-digit wins on the season. So again, Cashion earned their way to Richardson here in terms of their road. And on the Ringling side, you guys might not be familiar with that. They started off with a District A3 foe, and Hinton took care of them 53-13. Took on Minko, which was another shared opponent, common opponent with Cashion, beat them 72-12. Took care of a pesky Pawnee team. And I got to give credit to Pawnee making it to the quarterfinals. New coach come July, and they were able to put together a game plan. And you know, again, that single wing look, that wing tee, veer or whatever, that bunch them up and running 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Pawnee had the lead for a lot of that game. Credit Ringling in the second half, making adjustments and winning that one 42-32. And then the game last week against Morrison, who finished 10-4, that was an amazing game. A 2-point conversion was the difference. Again, I know we're going to talk about Braden Johnson here in a little bit, but 2-point conversion saved the day for Ringling, or it would be Cashion Morrison today. From your thoughts, you know, we've walked through the Cashion side of things. Just you know, open it up. Thoughts on Ringling? Any thoughts regarding the teams they played leading up to this big championship game?
You know, mine is the 2 semifinal games. You know, we talked about, you know, just looking at both sides of there. The most impressive win, I think, on there besides the 2 semifinal games is the Hooker game for Cashion. You know, I remember that after that game, we saw the Minko and Ringling score 72-12, and I was just like, what's more impressive, beating Minko 72-12 or beating Hooker 55-6? And by far, I think it was the Hooker, you know, the Cashion over Hooker game of 55-6. Minko, I mean, I think they didn't even go to school that week because of COVID stuff that happened in their school district. Probably had a lot of distractions going on there. But, I mean, 72 is hard to hang 72 on anybody. But they did it. But still, I think the most impressive win in that group, other than the semifinal games, I think it was the Cashion game over Hooker. And but it's all in the past now, and it's here today, and it's kind of how these teams can come out and play each other and execute on Championship Saturday.
Talking about, I kind of agree with you on the Hooker game. I mean, Hooker the week before that was in just a knockdown, drag-out game against Fairview. Ethan Sunken and I were at the Pay Dirt studio watching that one. So that, I thought, I agreed with you. You know, 55-6, more impressive than the 72-12. I thought we played some people like Woodland. I didn't think Woodland was bad. I didn't think Hooker was bad. You know, I thought we played some people that were pretty impressive that we definitely earned our spot here. Not to say they didn't. I mean, talk about a roller coaster of emotion. That Morrison-Ringling game, I can't imagine what the fans over there were thinking. That score was just nail-biting the entire time. So they both definitely earned their way to get here this Saturday.
All right, let's take a look at the Devils across the season. Again, this is an extended pregame here for the championship game here. We've got about 30 minutes till kickoff. The Devils, again, 14-0, led by Coach Coons. Again, started off out of district with Atoka, Dixon, and Marietta. It's probably tough for Ringling to find teams to play. They found some 2A and a 3A opponent. Took care of business. Not so much on the opponent's difficulty of schedule, but it is what it is. You got to go out and schedule in district. Again, 6-0. Did a great job of working. Actually, 7-0. I apologize. Working through several folks. Elmore City Purnell. That game, the last game of the season, was for the district, winning 55-8. And then we've already walked through their path to Richardson, the road to Richardson. Guys, from a standpoint, I know we have combined opponent records for Ringling above 500, about 68 and 85. Again, they can't control how their teams play. They just have to play what's on the record. But from that standpoint, if you take a look at the tail of the tape, anything that stand out to you guys when we look at, again, just trying to get some relative comparisons between these two teams and how they've gotten to Richardson.
Just like you were talking about, you got to play who's on your schedule, and that's what they did. But at the same time, you look at it, the Cashion opponents had almost 30 more wins than what Ringling saw this year. And, at some point, you would think that's going to catch up to you. But when they play somebody like Elmore City that had 10 wins, they didn't slow down. They didn't blink, and they took care of business there. So, and you see the two common opponents. We talked a little bit about the Minko game with them. But the Hinton game, do you remember the Cashion Wildcats against Hinton? It was I wound up having to stay home that day. You guys took over, and I almost had to text one of y'all and said, do I need to come up there? Or what's the deal? It looks like we were struggling. But it was one of those games where it was just weird. We drive down, just couldn't get in the end zone. So that 12-0 is almost like, an outlier.
It's because you weren't there, Chris.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly.
That's why.
Just blame it on me. I don't mind. I'll take it. But you see them, I thought, Hinton might do a good job against Ringling and maybe match their physicality in that first playoff game. And if you go back and watch that film with Ringling and Hinton drove right down the field on the very first drive of the game, had no problem getting into the end zone. And then Ringling just did Ringling and made some adjustments and took care of business the rest of the game.
Yep, absolutely. Chris, or Drew?
Yeah, looking at, the whole season I've gone back and looked at that Hinton game because Hinton, unlike anybody else that Cashion really played this season, Hinton was able to kind of control the pace of that game and keep Cashion kind of, 12-0. That's the lowest scoring game I think we'd had in a long time. And then you go look at the Hinton Ringling score and it's 53-13. So that was one I looked back for comparison the whole time. Looking at Ringling's others, like the rest of their schedule, I didn't think there were some teams there that just stood out where I was like, okay, that's, this is a hard, impressive schedule. So looking at Hinton and Minko was back and forth where I went and how I tried to base this, and I really had some trouble trying to compare them to us in a lot of ways.
One thing I tried to do on this, looking at the schedule, was try to figure out who would compare to us as an offense, right?
Yeah.
Just to see how Ringling would line up. And there's
nobody.
Yeah, it's hard.
Minko would have been the closest.
Yeah, so what I did, I went back and just looked at games from last year. I looked at Thomas and Ringling from last year, just to see how they lined up against Thomas. I went to the 2019 game and looked and see how they lined up there. And but you go back and look at it this year, I couldn't find anybody. Could you, Chad?
Yeah, and I think if you look through those schedules and in small school football, you see this a lot. It's a lot of one-dimensional, offensive, schemes out there. I think, this is two of the three. This is two of the three of the best that you're going to see tonight. The other one being, who we played last week in Pawhuska. That can bring a well-balanced attack, and that's what I'm saying. I kind of mentioned earlier. It's how you can't stop everything sometimes, and it's just how you're going to try to slow the bleeding a little bit, and it's going to probably come down to, like I said, 4 or 5 plays throughout the game that who's going to make them.
Outstanding. So with that, we'll keep it here with Ringling. We'll break it down as Drew Baker had a chance to catch up with Coach Coons. So Drew, what'd you learn?
Yeah, we emailed a little bit earlier in the week, and so I just kind of talked to him going into – I watched some of their film. I went through and I looked at some of the things, kind of what I wanted to ask him, and there's not a whole lot you can repeat the same question on every week of what I ask. It's the state game. Obviously, they're good. Everybody knows they're good. That's why they're here. So I kind of tried to change it up a little bit. And so I just asked him, both Cashion and Ringling have made recent appearances in the finals, and both have made great runs in the playoffs the last couple of years that haven't – and then those times that they haven't made the finals, it's been good in the playoff run. I said, so what testament does that make for both the programs? He said Cashion and Ringling Ringling schools both have had a long traditions of winning. Ringling had a long tradition of championships and great teams before he became the coach there. He's glad to be there where football is important, and and he's very lucky to be coaching with a staff and a group of players that are dedicated to Ringling football. So then I asked him, what has the energy been like this week for your staff, your school, and the players this week? And he said, we're a small town like Cashion is, so it seems like everyone is involved, but not just the people at the school. Businesses around the community put up signs. Churches fed the kids. Even a group of grandmas, they said, brought lunch up to the school Friday for them to have, team dinners. Go the grandmas. You got to love that. So then I asked him, this year, what has their keys to success been? Obviously, they're successful. They're undefeated. They're in the state championship. And he said selflessness. There's not one person on the team that's worried about individual stats, and just winning as a team is a priority for them, and they're all great teammates towards each other. So then I moved on to what he's seen from Cashion, what have they done well, and what does Ringling need to do to succeed on Saturday. Cashion's an excellent team on both sides of the ball, and we need to be able to move the chains on occasion and get some first downs. Is all he would go into detail on that. Didn't surprise me. But I kind of asked him, who's been some standout players. Move the chains. A good strategy. You usually win that way. But I asked him who his standout players have been this year and who's been big on the games and who needs to be big on Saturday. And the one kid that he kept talking about was Braden Johnson, who's their middle linebacker, and he said he's kind of the leader of their defense. He rallies everybody. He puts everything in order for them, and in order for them to be successful, he's going to have to do their job. But he also said everybody's going to have to do their job. It can't just be on one person. And then I asked him, what will be the key in order for Ringling to bring home the gold ball against Cashion? He said we have to play great defense and have a little bit of luck.
A little bit of luck. Well, hey, it's fortuitous, and certainly appreciate that. Drew, all season you've done a phenomenal job of getting in touch with these great coaches across Class A, and they certainly wouldn't get that information to me. I promise you that. So kudos to you and the work that you do, and hopefully making friends and getting through. And we've been blessed. If I haven't said it, Drew, we've been absolutely blessed to have you in the box with us this year, providing insight to not only historical from your perspective as a player working and playing with Shaq and Coach Wood and DL in the group, but also just your work with breaking it down. I appreciate that. Chris, I know that you always have your players to watch from the Ringling perspective. There's probably a familiar name on there that Coach Coons brought up as well.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, you do see Braden Johnson there. That's the kid that you touched on a little bit earlier. Coach Coons touched on. But the one I'm going to start with is number 1, Carson Daniel. He's a junior. He's the quarterback, 5'11", 200 pounds. I think he moved into Ringling last year.
Kingston.
Moved into Ringling
from
Kingston.
I think it's
from Kingston. And just took over, came in and had that, instantly clicked as far as I can tell with those kids there, and fit in well, and just kind of took the coaching and everything else that he's gotten from Coach Coons and really has been successful. I mean, lost one game last year, hasn't lost a game this year, and this year they've kind of put a little bit more on his shoulders and said, hey, we don't have that power run game like we've normally have. We've got a lot of quickness. Let's use that quickness. Let's use your arm. Get the ball in space to some of these receiver, running back, just kind of hybrid kids, and really let them go make plays. And they use him well, and he does a good job of just running almost like a pro style offense, where a lot of times he's under that center, 3-step drop, 4-step drop, or rolling out. And he does a good job at finding the open receiver and putting the ball where it needs to go.
Yeah, he's about 1,800 yards this year, 20 touchdowns. I think only 3 interceptions on the season. So, yeah, they've been very efficient with him. And I think it's a great call out. And we always seem to try to highlight the quarterback. There's a reason for it, but he certainly earned it this year.
And, he's the quarterback on offense, and then the quarterback on defense for this Ringling defense that has just been another phenomenal defense this year, which, they've been a phenomenal defense the last 3 years, is number 17, Braden Johnson. He's a kid that played in that 2019 game and had some impact. I think he sacked Ben a few times. He caught a touchdown right before, in the first half. And on a 4th down play, it was a big play, and they snuck him into the corner of the end zone and dropped one off for him for a touchdown. And so that kid right there, you talk about experience. He's got it. and he's ready. I mean, it's his time to shine. You know, I think his brother was on that 2019 team, and he was the man. It was if y'all don't know what a Class A stud looks like, go back and watch the 2019 football state championship game and look for number 32.
Yeah.
That dude was a beast, and that's Braden Johnson's brother. A lot of guys that I've talked to and read some of the things that they've talked about Ringling say that Braden's just as good, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And you watch film, the dude is a wrecking ball. I mean, kids try to get in front of him and block him, and it's like they're not even there.
Get out of the way.
He bulldozes over and makes the tackle, and it's going to that's a kid that we're going to have to get a body on and slow him down on the defensive side of the football to be successful today. I think there was about 4 different kids I could have also highlighted for Ringling as far as on the offensive side of the football, because Carson Daniel, he's good at just passing the ball to the open person. And as Coach Coons talked to Drew about, they're pretty selfless. They don't care who gets the touchdown. They just want a touchdown. And there's about 4 of those kids that can really move. They're smart. I mean, they may not be huge, but they're smart, and they are going 1,000 miles an hour. And those kinds of kids are what makes Ringling football. And they've got about 4 or 5 of them on that offensive side of the football that can really go. But those 2 right there, Carson Daniel and Braden Johnson, number 1 and number 17, you will hear their name called a lot today. And
well, hopefully not a lot. Hopefully
not a lot, but
we'll say on the ground or blocked.
On the ground, yeah, that's absolutely.
But those 2 right there are going to make the offense go. Carson Daniel's going to make the offense go. The defense, number 17, Braden Johnson's going to make that defense go.
Well, that's a great breakdown. Again, Chris, you've done another phenomenal job this year, giving us what to expect from the Cashion side of things about our opponents, who to watch, spot on. In terms of just kind of tail of the tape, again, just comparing the 2 teams, we looked at kind of how they got here. But in terms of just season totals, again, Chad Tishner alluded to this earlier. Really just both teams are a little bit more balanced. I think we as a group talked about, trying to, this is a different team for Ringling, but, a lot of similarities, 40 points a game, averaging both sides. Cashion a little bit more prolific on the offensive side, definitely on the passing side of things. Again, 16 points allowed on the Cashion side, 9 for Ringling. We'll probably just state that's probably based on opponents on who Cashion saw. And then when we take a look at tackles for loss and interceptions, fumbles, recoveries, again, 2 strong defenses. Coach Wood, certainly I'd put $5 down on Coach Wood any day, anytime. Anywhere. So from that standpoint, again, great breakdown for the Ringling Blue Devils. It looks like we do have the band. I don't know if we'll just hang tight. We'll talk about the Cashion Wildcats. We may have to stop as the national anthem. We're getting close here with 17 minutes before kickoff. Looks like they're still working through their instruments. So, Chris, let's just kind of quickly throw out some season stats here on the Cashion side. Right there, yeah, absolutely. So, again, when we think about Cashion's leaders, Ben Harmon, QB1 here at Cashion, following the footsteps of Matt Harmon and a few others. Obviously, his brother was a prolific record-setting quarterback, and Ben's definitely well over 10,000 this year. He's got almost 4,000 yards, completing almost 70% of his passes, 50 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. He also can do it with his legs, 722 yards. We mentioned that last week against Pawhuska, had well over 100 yards rushing and a couple TDs, key touchdowns for the Cashion Wildcats. His main targets, Mason Manning and Landon Lagasse. People think we're lying when we state this stuff, and when they read it, that's impossible. 2 1,600-yard receivers can't have that. Landon Lagasse, 29 touchdowns. Mason Manning, we've joked about him. He's gotten the ball to the 1-yard line. He does have 14 touchdowns, but these are 2 amazing all-state level performances by 2 receivers here in the same year. Just amazing. And then, of course, Nick Nababi came. It was a little bit slower start, but as guys tried to stop Mason Manning and Landon Lagasse, it was Nick Nababi driving and pulling and pushing and headbutting and stiff-arming his way to almost 1,600 yards himself, 20 touchdowns on the seasons. Defensive leaders, Bryce Burke, kind of a surprise, wouldn't you guys think, with leading a sophomore coming in, 92 tackles this year?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's a kid that moved in over the summer and just bought in, to the way that Cashion does stuff, and he's taken advantage of a great opportunity. And for a sophomore to come in here and kind of gel with these kids like he has, it's been a great job on the defensive side of the ball for Bryce Burke.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get back to number 88 here in a second, but a lot of seniors, a lot of familiar faces. Nababi, Mason Manning, Joey Wilson, Self Gilbert, a junior. Gavin Fippen coming back from injury as a senior. We want to shout out to Camden Maroney. We know he'd be on this list as well if he wasn't injured. Definitely a big loss for the Cashion offensive line and defense. But let's get back to Jackson Vandruff. Just an amazing year. The kid is just, I mean, we talked about Braden Johnson. I guess this would be our version of Braden Johnson for the Cashion Wildcats.
Yeah, the kid's just been a heat-seeking missile on special teams, defense, I mean, all over the place. I feel like every time we see somebody go down, there's 88 getting up off of the top of him, and he's just been an animal on the defensive side of the ball all season.
Jackson's always been one of our favorite, in our home games up there in the press box. I mean, we love watching Jackson on special teams just because on kickoff, he, like Drew said, I mean, he's got to be leading the state. I don't know if it's a stat they keep, but he's got to be leading the state in tackles on kickoffs. I mean, he is there every single time. And somebody you almost have to game plan with if you can find somebody that wants to step in front of him to try to, to get him out of the way because, man, just so impressed with that. And I think tonight Jackson and Joey on our edges defensively I think they've got good matches. I think their speed and their athleticism, I think you'll see, I think they'll do some damage out there.
I love it. Yeah, in fact, Jackson's got 20 and a half tackles for loss. He's just been, I love it, heat-seeking missile, you're right. He's just a walking TFL. It's been fantastic. And we get one more year with the kids, so that's always a good thing from that standpoint. If we think about, again, just a quick senior salute, we'll take this opportunity again, an outstanding group of boys. What's the record? What do we have? Is it 53-2 or 3 or something?
I think it's 53-3. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I believe it's 53-3.
Most impressive stat might be they have, I'm sure it's happened before, but couldn't happen more than a handful of times, is these kids have never lost a district football game in 4 years.
That's right. That's exactly right. Undefeated in district play, just an amazing group. Now, of course, there's, as Shaq will always say, not only are you playing for the guys today, but you're also playing for the guys that played before you and the guys that are going to be following you. And certainly I know the last few classes for the Cashion Wildcats, going all the way back, we talked about Drew and his class and everything that's happened. There's been a lot of success that's led to this group, having the success that we're here. We talk about Jack Sunkin. We got the Sunkins back here, but certainly, a fantastic group of boys and have done well and have just kind of managed day by day doing their thing. Chris, in terms of, do you want to do keys for the Cats? You're going to wait for maybe, I don't think we're ever going to get to the national anthem.
We can keep rolling until they do.
All right, let's keep rolling. So, keys for the Cats. Again, we've loved Chris over at Legacy Insurance and Financial Services right there downtown Cashion. Love those guys. And
Chris and Christina.
And Christina. Now. That's right. That's right. I guess it's almost like the OU coaches. You got to start with a B, I guess, at Legacy.
We do have Aaron. That's in the office.
We do have Aaron. We'll have to change her. We'll have to call her Karen. Nonetheless, we've been thrilled. Chris, you've broken it down. You've given us the keys. Again, always spot on. What do you have for us today for the Cashion to get to 14-1 and hoist up that back-to-back state championship?
Yeah. Okay. So on the offensive side of the ball for the Cats to be successful, I think we've said it before, win that line of scrimmage, be physical, be able to protect the quarterback, and then get a push on those running plays, because I think if they try to stop the passing game, we're going to have to win that line of scrimmage, and if they give that to us, we've got to take it. Then win the one-on-ones. If they do pile up and try to stop that running attack of Ben and Nick, and they try to account for both of those kids, we're going to have one-on-one matchups that we have to win. We have to win those one-on-one matchups. And then on the defensive side of the ball, the defense has to keep their eyes on the running backs and tight ends. Those kids coming out of the backfield or when they have their bunch sets, sneaking out, you can't leave kids running wide open, or this quarterback is good enough to hit them in stride and make big plays. Then limit third and fourth down conversions. Third and fourth down conversions are what lost us the 2019 game, right? We had third and 19, they scored a touchdown. We had third in like 7 or 8, and they run it up the middle and get a touchdown. So if we can limit those third and fourth down conversions, get off the field when the defense is out there and have played good, I think we'll be pretty successful as the game rolls on.
I love it. Any thoughts from you guys, Drew or Chad?
Well, yeah, I mean, that win in the line of scrimmage and the convert on 3rd and 4th down go hand in hand. I mean, talk about the 2019 game, the same Ringling team. I mean, there's a lot of kids that were on that team that are on this team today still. I mean, Ringling's always been one of those teams that they're going to fire off the ball and hit you straight in the mouth every chance that they get. So winning the line of scrimmage is going to be a huge key for them in order to keep us, kind of on our heels. And the more that we're able to meet that, the better that we're going to be.
Yeah, and then just I'm really looking forward to watching our guys in the defensive secondary, and in kind of what I kind of alluded to earlier. I wasn't real confident Ringling could match up one-on-one with. I think our guys can, and can we win those one-on-one matchups in our defensive secondary and allow our front four and our linebackers to do their job to clean up the run and stay with the quarterback.
All right, so those are the keys for the Cats, for Cashion again to go to 14-1 and get that gold ball. Again, we appreciate Legacy Insurance and Financial Services downtown Cashion. We appreciate bringing that to us all season. So with that, guys, it looks like we will have, they just announced the Minko Bulldogs as the academic state champions for football. Big shout out to Minko football. They've been competitors, but certainly I think respected competitors. I don't think there's anything hated. Looks like the Cashion the PA announcers going through some of the announcements for home teams, etc. We do have the Cashion band out at midfield for the national anthem. Chris, I guess, oh, that's right, we've got the sideline, so I guess might as well. I apologize, Drew. You've done a fantastic job of hanging out with Coach Shack. What does Coach Shack think about tonight's epic game?
I was almost worried to text him. We've been kind of beating a dead horse asking him about this game all week, starting from Wednesday or Thursday till now. But I asked him, Shack is probably up there pretty close to being the longest coach that's been at the same program in Class A for a long time, at least in recent years. So I asked him, does having consistent coaching staff and loyal community play success now Cashion's done the last several years? He said 100% it does. It allows you to build a culture everybody can buy into. And then what have past state championship games taught him as a coach? He said the more than anything, it feels like it's important to try and keep things as normal as possible. People put so much on this game to the point that it feels like you're a failure if you don't win. I think it's important to stress the obvious. It's a football game, and we're going to prepare for it like we would any other football game. Cashion's played well all season. What in particular has to be almost perfect Saturday. He said we need to stop the run and be able to run the football and don't miss scoring opportunities when they present themselves. I said there'll be some kids from the last Ringling and Cashion State game in 2019 that Ringling won on both sides of the ball. I was like, does that add emotion to the game for any other people? He said he didn't think so. Our kids don't really think about that game in the sense like that, and he said it's just another game for them. This is another season. So as far as what's been the biggest takeaway from the last 6 years of Wildcat football: in 2014 in the state championship against Thomas, 2015 against Stratford, 2019 against Ringling, last year against Thomas. I mean, what's been the biggest takeaway for all those success in the last 6 years? He just said consistency from our kids, how they prepare for the consistency from their coaches, and how we approach big games and how they approach practice. He said those are the two biggest reasons that they've been successful, is their consistent approach to everything.
Yeah, great breakdown. And I mean, that statement's consistent with kind of what we've seen all season. We talked about these boys, just next game mentality. So it looks like we'll have the national anthem. We'll pause here for a second. Hopefully you'll have audio on that, and as we honor this great nation that we live in.
Thank you. And now, our national anthem by the Cashion Band.
All right, God bless America. Every single Friday now on a Saturday, the greatest country in the entire universe. We are blessed to be here, and we're blessed to be here in Edmond, Oklahoma, as the Cashion Wildcats 13-1 taking on the Ringling Blue Devils at 14-0 for a Class A state championship gold ball. Neiman Abavi, Chris Gibson, Drew Baker, my man Silky Smooth Chad Tishner filling in during the play-by-play today. We are so pleased to have you guys here as we wind down the pregame. We've got about 5 minutes left here as the Cashion Wildcats will be taking the field here. Captain's coming out. Okay, the game definitely will be starting at 1 o'clock, so that's here in about 7 minutes. Again, appreciate you guys joining us. And please keep those texts and tweets alive during the game. Feel free to let Chris and Drew and I and Chad know kind of what's going on. We make sure to bring you guys the best experience possible as we've been following these Cashion Wildcats all season long. Chris, are you ready? I've got my Sharpie. You can't see
Got the Sharpie? Let's go.
I got the Sharpie. So we got a few minutes left here. I'm going to be running down the field, but got to do Sharpie time. Chris's prediction, what do you see? What's going to happen? Is Cashion going to be hosting a gold ball 2 years in a row?
Well, you know, this is the game we all wait for, and this is the prediction. I love making the most because it means the most, right? But, you know, those keys that I had talked about, if we can play a clean game, Ringling plays a clean game, I really think this score is going to come out to where Cashion is on top. We scored 28, they scored 21, and it's one of those games that's just kind of a battle to get to the end zone. But Cashion makes it into that end zone one more time than the Ringling Blue Devils.
I love it. I'll take it, Chris. I will take a 2-0 victory, but I'll have to take a 28-21. So you heard it here. Chris Gibson, again, the guy's got to run his own offshore high school betting line. Man's been fantastic. Cashion Wildcat band's coming off the field. Teams are coming out. I'm going to be handing over the headset to my man Silky Smooth Chad Tishner. Guys, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to be a part of this process, be a part of this team and a part of your lives. It's been an amazing experience. I say thanks every single day to be a part of just a winning organization and such wonderful people and community. So with that, go Cats, and Chad, here's the headset.
We're going to go to commercial real quick. We'll come back with live game action.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
Legacy Insurance and Financial Services is proud to be on Main Street in Cashion, Oklahoma, supporting our Wildcats while riding business throughout Oklahoma and surrounding states. Legacy agents who share over 40 years of experience will shop many carriers to fulfill all of your insurance and investment needs. We welcome face-to-face meetings, but if your needs require an online virtual relationship, we are versed at those too. Let the team of Chris Gibson, Chris Cochran, Aaron Phoenix, and Christina Branson at Legacy Insurance and Financial Services help you build your own legacy, one you will be proud to live and to leave.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. The captains are on the field, and like Nina said, I'm Chad Tischer here with Chris Gibson, Drew Baker, and captains are out there. This captains meeting is coming to an end. Looks like Cashion has won the toss, and in typical Lynn Shackelford form, Cashion will take the ball to start this game. So we're about 2 minutes away from this thing winding down on our pregame and getting some guys on the field and getting this thing rolling. So guys, I know everybody's excited. We're ready to roll, and I know Chris just made his prediction, and we're all hoping Cashion comes out on top as we got this rematch from our 2019 state final.
Well, you know, I think Shaq said it in the interview with Drew. You know, you just got to – you almost take it for granted when you're here 3 times in a row of just this is kind of a normal thing. This isn't a normal thing. There's teams that you play for 20 years and get to the state championship game, and that's a huge thing. If you make it 3 years in a row, it's still a huge thing. I mean, don't don't take that for granted. Come in here and just enjoy this moment. And I think that's what Coach Shackelford does, really ingrains in these kids.
Right.
Even though they've been here 3 years in a row, he says, go out here, enjoy yourself, and remember these moments.
That's exactly what he said. He told them in the locker room this week, he was like, guys, you guys should be excited about this. You should be more excited than you are because this doesn't happen. I mean, you don't go to the state championship 3 years in a row and have the opportunity to hoist that gold ball 2 years in a row.
And here come the Cats as they're on the field, and our Cashion fans are here right under us on the home side this year, as opposed to 2019 when Ringling was underneath us right here in the home side bleachers at this beautiful Richardson Stadium at UCO. So Cashion on the field, excited to go, and yeah, I think Drew, it was in Coach Kuhn's notes, and when you were talking about that, and I think he's the one that said, a little bit of luck, and I think that's so crucial. I mean, man, I know Drew, you played for Cashion, you played in this game, and Chris, a big-time athlete down there in West Texas.
We never made it this far, I promise you.
I've coached a few playoff games and played a few myself, and man, you look back on those, and man, to get here, you got to get lucky sometimes. You got to stay healthy. You got to be lucky. Ball's got to bounce your way some, and so I think that's important. Yeah, like I said, just realize, man, cover the opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt, and we were sitting here waiting, talking about the game, getting ready to get kicked off, and the excitement that we see. And I still don't see one Ringling player. Okay, here we go. I mean, we're 1 minute from kickoff, and there's two Ringling kids out of the locker room, and that's exactly how they came out at in the 2019 state championship game. Is they never came out. They came out and threw the ball around a little bit before, about 30 minutes before the game. And then you didn't see them in their pads until kickoff, and that's exactly how they're starting this game off today. Is we came out and did our regular warm-up, never saw a Ringling Blue Devil until right now. I mean, it's 1 o'clock, and they're just coming out. They kind of want to set that tone of this is how we run things, this is our pace, and that's kind of how they do it. And they did it in 2019, and they're doing it now.
That's what I was going to say. Almost the exact same attitude from the Ringling Blue Devils as you saw in the 2019 state championship game against Cashion.
So they're the Blue Devils as they come out on the field this afternoon. I mean, just a beautiful day. I kind of been watching the flags. Yeah, they kind of died down a little bit, but they, about mid pregame, it seemed like they were blowing a little harder, but wind shouldn't be that big a deal. I mean, you guys can't ask for a better situation on December 11th for a high school state championship football game.
I know earlier in the week they were talking might get a little wintry mix today. Yep. Thank God it's just not a cloud in the sky and sunny for this December 10th or December 11th.
Yeah, you want to play football. This is the weather to play football in. About 50 degrees, sunshine, no wind, just a slight breeze. The only thing that would be better for me would be under the lights. I love playing under the lights, but hey, the good Lord provides this sunlight, and it's going to be a good day for some football.
Bad weather or not, it's always a good day to be playing football late in December.
You got that right.
Cashion will receive, and back for Cashion. This two playmakers, two guys that we want to have football in their hands as much as possible. You got Landon Lagasse and Mason Manning back there. Kicking off for the Blue Devils will be number 11, Caden Barron, as he handles the kicking duties for Ringling. So here we go. The ball is set. Waiting for our white hat. Sorry, I didn't get the official name, so if we get those, we'll announce those later. But here we go, as we're wait for him to wind that clock, and Mr. Barron will kick this thing off, and we'll be underway. And there it is. Here we go. Here comes the kickoff from Ringling. It will go back to, looks like Manning will take it at about the 14-yard line. He'll head to his right. He's picked up a few blocks, cuts it back up the middle, and he's met by the Ringling kick team there. He'll be about the 28-yard line. Looks like Cashion will take over first down and 10.
Yeah, and that time, a lot of times we see that ball go to Landon Lagasse. That time they kicked it at Mason. He did a good job of getting it and just getting up the field. Got to about the 28, like Chad said. Now let's see how Ringling will line up against this Cashion offense.
Yeah, it looks like Cashion's kind of bunched up here on the left side in this first formation with Harmon and Nabavi in the backfield. Split rights Lagasse, and we'll go out wide, and it's Mason Manning who comes out of that bunch wide open. He's dead. I think they got him out of bounds there as he comes up limping a little bit there, but nice little play call. Nice cleared out that cleared out that field side there, and Harmon got rid of it quick, Chris and Manning, and you get him an open field like that, and that's what's going to happen.
You know, we've watched, I think you watched the Morrison game, and I watched the Morrison game, and that's one thing I took away was, you know, slipping those guys out into those flat areas. When you see a little bit of a couple of kids clearing out, hitting the kid in the flat, and that's the first play that they threw at him for a big gain all the way down to the Cashion, or the Ringling 42-yard line.
Yeah, so one play, and Cashion now finds themselves in Blue Devil territory. Is now Harmon and Nababi in the backfield. We'll play action to Nababi, slant across the middle. And that was intended for Mason Manning, and good coverage there by number 21, Kenyon McGahee, as he was on time to break that up as Manning. You know, the ball was there on time, but defense won on that one.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly. Just came up, knocked the ball away, was there right in time. Mason had a good slant route, just a good play on the defense. And you're going to see that. They're going to be good on defense. They're going to be sound, and those are the kind of plays that you got to overcome.
Cashion double tight now as they go hard count for the first time today, and works like a charm. As you know, early in these games, those nerves are going. You know,
hey, my blood's pumping.
Yeah,
I guarantee you theirs is too.
We're not even on the field, and I've got the nerves pumping there. But that's one of those deals we talked about in the pregame. These mistakes like this is something you might see early in the game with nerves, but it's something you're not going to want to continue if you're the Ringling Blue Devils or the Cashion Wildcats.
So Cashion comes up empty on first down, but good job there by Shockford getting an easy 5, and now hand it off to Nick Nababi. He go left as Ringling's there in the backfield, but Nick breaks that initial tackle, and with the surge from the help of his big boys up front, he'll avoid a no gain or maybe a 1-yard loss, Chris, and turn that into about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, I mean, right there, they had him bottled up, but those big boys up front just kept pushing. Nick is strong and just turns those legs nonstop and got a 3-yard gain out of something that shouldn't have been anything.
Yeah, you know, Cash Rowe was in there early and kind of blew that thing up, but a good job by Nick of avoiding that first tackle, which we've seen him do all year. 3rd down and 2 here, maybe a little short 2, almost a 1.5 yards, and we're going double tight here again, and we'll hand it to Nababi. He heads left again, tries to break a tackle, breaks 2 tackles, still chugging, and I think he'll get that, Chris, as he did that all himself, breaking at least 2 tackles.
I don't think they even moved the line. I mean, the line judge is going to be
we haven't got a call.
Very close to the first down.
I think they're going to mark him about a 1/2 yard short. Yeah, we're going to have 4th down here as great pursuit there from the Blue Devils. It took them all over there on this left side, Cashion's left side. So we'll stay double tight here as we have both Vandriff and Burt on the ends. Harmon will be, we're 4th and 1/2 yard. Harmon will start from the shotgun. Might see a Harmon keeper here. They went to that a lot in short yardage situations at Pawhuska. And there it is, Ben Harmon, keep it. What hits a wall, and I'm not sure he's going to get it.
I don't think he did.
The spot is, but he hit a wall early, and it looks like Ringling might come up with an early stop.
Yeah, there was definitely a hole there, but it closed before Ben could get there. And those 4th down conversions that we had against Pawhuska, that one did not convert. They had him stopped and got on the ground before he got that 1/2 yard that he needed, and that's a big stop there for the Ringling Blue Devils, for Cashion kind of getting out and getting big yardage early, and then getting that 4th down stop there is a big thing for the Blue Devils' momentum.
So Carson Daniel will take over here. Got the eye behind him, and he'll hand off left side. Big hole there.
Yeah, on there.
It's number 11, Kate
number 8,
Barron there.
Number 8.
Sorry, excuse me, number 8, Colton Fincher on the carry. Goes for about 7 on first down on that left side.
Met by Mason Manning on the outside there.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to see a lot of. They're going to try to run the ball. They're almost, you know, just like we did against Pawhuska. They're going to want to try to control that clock. They're going to want to be able to run the ball and then be able to get you in that pass game. And right there, that's a big first down play. And those short yardage 2nd down plays are dangerous when you have the option to run or throw.
Yep, Daniel will hand it off again, and this time it's not there, as there's big Joey Wilson we talked about early on in the pregame. Joey and Vandriff on the edge in that matchup, and then getting back in the backfield and getting those tackles for loss like we've seen so much throughout this season.
Yeah, and where I've saw some teams have some success stopping them on that run game just like that is those kids coming around that edge and coming down hard, just like Joey did right there.
Big third down here is 3rd and 3. No gain there on 2nd down. And so big third down is Cashion's trying to get a 3 and out here and get Ringling off.
Right here, you want to watch these kids coming out of the backfield and those tight ends right here.
He'll go right side, pitch right or left, sorry, and he's going to be close. It looks like he's right at the line, but I think he's got it.
Yeah, I think he got it. He's about a yard over it, looks like.
Yep, they're going to go ahead and move the chain, so he did get that first down there.
I think that time it was Caden Barron maybe on the run, so, you know, good pursuit by Cashion, you know, maybe about a half yard they got that first down by, so give credit to Ringling, and they'll move the chains.
Yeah, and that's what I talked about. Those 3rd down conversions, 4th down conversions are huge. That was a 3rd down conversion right there on their side of the their side of the 50. That you stop them, they may be punting right there. It's those first down plays that you want to control that line of scrimmage and not let them get those big 8-9 yards on first down.
Here we go, 1st down and 10. They'll hand off again. Now we'll go right side. Nice play there. That's Gavin Fippen coming off the corner there and making a play, wrapping up a foot, and that'll be a tackle for a loss for sure. I think the first one in the first set of downs, we maybe didn't get an official tackle for loss, but that one definitely will be, Chris.
Yeah, and you know, with the success of Gavin coming up right there, that's one thing that Ringling's going to keep an eye on, and that's a defensive back coming up and making a play. They're going to say, all right, if they're going to come up and make those plays, let's see if we can sneak one over the top. And now let's just watch and see if they don't try to pop a pass over the top for a big gain.
Yep. 2nd long, Cashion wins on 1st down, so let's see a little play action here. As Daniel will roll left, and he'll throw.
Pick it off.
Almost picked off. Landon Lagasse was all over that. Has great coverage there by the Cashion secondary. There was really nobody open out there on that left side and that Ringling sideline. And pretty shocked there that Daniel even took the chance of throwing that.
Yeah, you always got to be a little nervous when you see Landon Lagasse out there open with the ball kind of lingering in the air like that.
And he threw it. I mean, he threw it on that sideline where if his player could get out there, he could maybe make a play, but Landon was in between there and was able to knock that down.
So we'll see here, 3rd and long. Now 3rd and 11 for Ringling here. Their opening drive of the game. We'll see how aggressive Coach Coons gets here on 3rd and 11 with the field position. Maybe they'll play the punt game here and try to pin Cashion back. But Daniel barking out signals.
Delay a game.
Have a timeout. I think the sideline got a timeout here.
Hey, and this is
timeout Ringling.
You know, I talked about it. And I'm going to keep harping on it because in 2019, this is what got us beat. You have 3rd and 11 here. You have to get off the field on 3rd and 11, or you lose the game. 3rd and 11, 4th and 11, whatever it is. You know, in that I keep going back to 2019, but when you have that game to compare, use it, right? And if you could get the stop here, this gives you a chance to get that punt, get the ball back in the hands of Ben Harmon, and let them go down there and kind of correct the mistakes they made in that first drive and go score and get on the board early.
Yeah. So, Drew, what are you thinking here? 3rd down 11 for Ringling out of this timeout. I mean, you talked to Coach Coons a lot, seen a lot of their film. What are you thinking here on 3rd and 11?
I think Coach Coons is really confident in his offense, and I think especially at this point in the game, if he is able to capitalize on this, that's a big deal for momentum for them, and that's something you see a lot of times in these big games. The person that can keep the momentum going in their favor usually has good success going down the field. So it wouldn't surprise me here if Coach Coons is a little confident in his offense.
Got to be leery here of number 17, Brayden Johnson, coming off that tight end.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, down the
that seam.
Off play action. So we'll see if maybe Mr. Vandrup or Mr. Wilson can get off the edge here a little bit, cause a little havoc in the backfield.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's almost one of the keys I wanted to put on there. I didn't put it on there, but getting that pressure, getting in that quarterback, and just making him move while he's running. He does a good job of throwing the ball down the field on the move. But you have Joey or Vandrup in your face, and that makes it harder.
2-back set here. Ringling, straight drop for Daniel. Now he'll go across the middle, not open. And he tried to force it in there. Mason Manning, you got to be a man to come across the middle knowing Mason Manning's coming in there with you to break it up. And McGahee that ball sailed over his head, wasn't really catchable. Like a tight window there for Daniel to even try to complete that.
Well, I think if it would have been down where he could have caught it, I think Max Brown was in great position there to knock it down or intercept it. Yeah. And then when he went up high, as soon as it bounced off of his hands, Mason Manning was there to lay that lumber and really make sure he didn't come down with it.
Great execution by the secondary there on defense. Now after they get this punt, it's going to be time to take care of business and march that ball down the field.
Yeah, Lagasse back to receive this Ringling punt. Ball is off the foot of Ringling, and Legas will call for a fair catch right around the 21, 22-yard line. Cashion will take over. So not a whole lot, took place in those first two possessions. Got to give defense the win on both those deals for both sides. Cashion one pretty good play there to Manning right off the gate, and then after that, both teams really kind of have established themselves defensively.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm sitting there watching that punt, and Landon calls for fair catch. I'm like, just catch the ball, because in that Morrison game, Morrison had them stopped 2 times on the first drive of that game, and they had Ringling punted, Morrison fumbled. They had them on another 4th down. They fake punt, got it in the end zone. You give them enough tries, they're going to get in the end zone.
Yep. Twins right, and looks like Legas singled up by himself on the left. Now look, fade to Legas down the sideline. He's got a step. Ball drops in. Did he stay in bounds?
Nope, he's in. He's calling it catch.
Right foot looked like it was in, and they are going to mark it in. And so he got a quick step there, and was bye-bye. No safety back there for help.
That's that one-on-one I was talking about. You've got to win the one-on-ones. That time they had him manned up, press coverage. Ben saw that, and their rules, Coach Shackford talked about it after the game last week. When they do that, their rule is let's take a shot. He did it there, and another big gain on first down.
Yeah, each of Cashion's possessions so far, big plays on first down. It gets him instantly into Ringling territory. Let's see if they can cash in here. Harmon looks right, turns it down. Now he'll roll right, gets some pressure, and tries to shake the pressure. Now he'll throw it right, and that ball's incomplete.
They're going to call that interference.
Yep. As the defender there for Ringling trying to defend. Looks like that's Max Brown out there on that Ringling sideline, and I think he got there just mistimed it, got there a little early.
Yeah, and I think what he was trying to do was go to catch the ball, and he had to go through the receiver to do it. And whenever he made contact with the receiver while the ball was in the air, that's when the flag came out. Good job by Ben there. The pocket kind of collapsed. The first initial read wasn't there. He had to roll out to the right, and he did a good job of keeping his eyes up the field. Saw Max Brown come open for that second and delivered a strike to where only Max could catch it, or the kid was going to have to come through him to try to knock the ball down, and that's what happened for the interference.
Talking about the little things that kind of add up there. That play, if they don't get that pass interference, this is a whole different play for the Ringling defense right now.
So 1st and 10 there. Good job by Max Brown coming back to the ball, helping Ben out. Now we'll go jet sweep, and that's Manning. He's going to try to get the edge. He got a block from Legas out wide. Ringling does a good job in pursuit. Got number 8, Colton Fincher, and number 5, Chase Taylor, chasing that thing down as Manning goes. Looks like for about 7, but
hey, I will take that bigger on first down all day long. 7 yards on first down. That could put you in that 2nd down and 3, 2nd down and 4, where the playbook is just wide open. You try to, you could even run it 3 downs, get 2 yards every time, get a first down, and but. Ben, you want to get that big yardage on first down every time to give yourself a chance on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down.
It'll be 2nd and 6, and last time Cashion was in 2nd and short, 3 straight runs were unable to convert. So we'll see what Shackford dials up here as they change the play, and they'll fake it to Nababi, and I think Coach Shackford called the timeout. Didn't really like what he had lined up there.
Yeah, and Nema's down there on the field, just kind of texting up some things, and he said it's some jawing going on down there, and that's something you expect from these two teams that have been there, and they've played each other, and both teams are saying, hey, we're here, we're going to win this, and this is our year, and when that happens, and the two teams that have the success of both of these teams, neither team is scared of each other. I promise you that much. You roll out there, and a lot of times a team plays Cashion, a team plays Ringling. You almost win just getting off the bus. That's not the case for either of these teams tonight.
Yeah, I think interesting kind of that. I think most people from the outside looking in look at Cashion as a throwing team. Probably look at Ringling as a running team. And so far, you've really yet to see Cashion establish the run, or Ringling hasn't had any success throwing the football either.
Yeah,
so
right.
We'll see who can kind of maybe get those those things going on their side of the ball.
Who can get balanced?
Yeah, get balanced. Pretty one-dimensional on both sides right now, but
about on the 31-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. 2nd down.
Yep. So 2nd and 4 here, and we'll go. Look like Manning split right, Legas split left, double tight for Cashion. We see both Nababi and Harmon run the ball off this scheme. So we'll see what happens here. There'll be a fake handoff, a little play action to Nababi, and a high fade to Legas. He battles for position, and that play knocked away. Nice play there. as that time maybe the ball hung up just a little too high and gave that Ringling defender a chance to kind of make up some ground there.
Yeah, that was that 2nd down and 4, and that's what you do on 2nd down and 4. You take that shot. We had him manned up there. He was playing up close coverage on Landon. They took the shot, and number 20, what's his name there? Caleb Taylor. He did a good job. He was running step for step and knocked the ball down. Like I said, they're going to be playing sound defense. They're going to make some plays. You just have to win those more times than you lose them.
Yep.
Oh, my.
Miscommunication there. A fumble on the play, picked up by Ringling. Manning's going to be able to catch him, luckily for Cashion, as there's one of those plays that we'll talk about throughout this game. Those big plays, and unfortunately for Cashion, they're on the wrong side of that one. Is number 50, that's Julius Coombs. He picks it up and rumbles all the way down to the Cashion 10-yard line. Great hustle there by Manning, not giving up on the play, at least saving a touchdown.
This one of those deals the Cashion defense is going to have to dig in here to keep the Ringling Blue Devils out of the end zone.
I looked down, looked up, and I just saw the ball kind of floating in the air there. Can you explain exactly what happened there?
So that looks like a little misdirection as they fake. And I think that's what Shaq's saying, is that was a pass. It should be incomplete.
That was a pass forward.
They faked the handoff to Nabavi, and then he shoveled that forward to Manning. That should be an incomplete pass. And Coach Shockford's all the way out to the numbers arguing that fact right now.
If it goes forward out of his hands,
they're not going to give it to
that
Cash.
is a
And Shockford now is going to call a timeout, as he is unhappy right now. And I think if we had instant replay, we could justify that, as that definitely was not a handoff. He threw it forward.
But I guess
a little misdirection. Fake
maybe
handoff, fake handoff to Nabavi going left, and then here came Mason Manning in front of him for a little shovel.
Yeah, let's see if they play that replay on the big screen. I don't know if they will or not. But like I said, whenever I saw the ball in the air, I just thought it was like you said, a shovel pass or something. Because when I looked up, I saw the ball going forward, hit one of our players, and then just laying there on the carpet.
That's why I kind of paused for a second, because before I thought it was going to be a complete pass, but
and maybe what the White Hat saying happened was, it was as he was going through, the ball got hit up into the air, and what didn't leave Ben's hand
they're still
as a
talking
pass.
about it. I mean, they're still in a powwow here about it. The linesman for the Ringling side's backed away from the huddle, but the rest of the officials are all still huddled up. But I don't think this one's going to go Cashion's way.
Nope, they're discussing it, but it's not going. They're not going to overturn what they originally called on the play.
Okay, they got it. Okay, after they got together, and they get it right. I mean, let's just say, this is a state final football game. Let's get it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, you will not see a lot of crews, I don't care what sport it is, come together and make a change like that late in the play. So give the guys credit.
Yeah, it surprised me them recalling that play and moving it back, because most of the time, especially after it's been called, they've already lined up and everything else. Once they get down there, they're usually not going to overturn that.
Coach Coombs is on the hash now. He is not happy. Obviously, you can't blame him either.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think they got the call right.
The White Hat for this officiating crew is going to get an earful from Coach Shaq, turn around and get one from Coach Coombs.
That's a tough thing. Either way, they're going to hear it from one side. But I do think they got that right. Kind of threw me for a loop there, calling that play, and nonetheless.
That's why I was like, hey, can you explain to what I just saw there? Because from what I saw, I didn't think it was a fumble, but I thought maybe I missed something.
Well, and I don't know, you two, if you saw it, but as the play ended down here on the 6-yard line, you saw Mason and Ben both running to make the play. Mason made the play, and he instantly got up and looked at Ben like, hey, what are we doing? Why was that a fumble,
Yeah, and Nema texted as soon as it happened that was a pass.
Yeah, that was
he was down on the field. He saw it happening right in front of him, and that's exactly what he said. Should have been an incomplete pass, and he was spot on.
Right, so it still should be
very well used timeout by Coach Shackelford.
Right?
That was third down because we passed it, but it should be about the 30.
It was about 4 yards to go. So they're trying to get these chains set, get the down markers set, but it should have been on the 31-yard line.
So we lost 10 yards there, right?
They're trying to get it figured out. But I think we were a little further down the field. White Hat said something there up to the press. I didn't catch that.
He said it was fourth down and 3, but they're on the wrong line.
Yeah, the sticks don't show that. So they're still trying to figure it out as the linesman there on Ringling's side is trying to get this thing figured out. There, they got 4th and 7 by the sticks. It's 4th and 3. So, holy smokes. Little drama here.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Drama here
Little
in the
drama.
first quarter of the state championship game. That's always fun.
Because if you look down at you can see it where, Ethan, can you tell me what?
31 is what they have.
4th and 4 from the 31. It was on the 31-yard line when we made that play.
They moved it now to the 37-yard line, and at least the down and the distance match. I'm not sure that's where the ball was, but the down and the distance, I do know it should have been 4 yards to go. I vividly remember that. So here we go, 4th and 4 from the 37. Cashion trying to at least keep this drive going here. They'll fake the jet. Harmon, he's going to go up the middle. Got some room outside, and there's Ben Harmon using those legs. Smartly slides down. Great job by number 12, senior quarterback Ben Harmon. He escaped some pressure. Step right up that pocket, right through the middle of guys, and find some room on that right edge for a Cashion first
Great
down.
execution by the Cashion offense, making that play go from the turnaround of what it was to going back down to where they're on the 4th down line, and then they turn around and make a first down play out of it. So that was a great job and great execution by Ben.
Great concentration by those boys to, think, we just turned the ball over. They're going to have it on the 10,
right,
to getting it back and keeping that concentration, pick up the first down there.
A lot of emotions have been through
a lot of moving
teams
pieces
in the last 2 minutes. So 1st and 10, ironically, we now are on the 31-yard line. First down and 10 for Cashion. Harmon, he'll drop back, looks fade again as he's going to Manning this time. He goes back,
touchdown,
finds
baby.
the ball, out-duels number 5, Chase Taylor, and Mason Manning makes another big play for the Wildcats. We've seen it all year, guys. When that ball's in the air, he's going to go get it, and he's going to win 99% of the time.
Yeah, both of them. You got Landon Lagasse and Mason Manning that are just studs out on that edge. You give them a 50-50 ball, and you have a great shot. That's what happened right there. Mason Manning just beats him off the line. Ben throws it up to let him go get it. And the kid was there. The kid was on him and had him covered well. But Mason Manning is just that much better, and he went up and got that in the end zone for the Cashion Wildcat touchdown.
Chad, you kind of talked about it.
Extra point, Bryson Hogan is up and in. What was that, Drew?
Chad, you kind of talked about at the beginning. Our offense is just an offense of weapons. You've got Landon Lagasse, you've got Mason Manning, Ben Harmon, Nick Nababi, who we haven't had to see a whole bunch of yet. But, it's just how, on a Ringling defense, how do you stop all 4 of those components of that offense?
Well, it just looks like to me Coach Coons is going off what happened last week at Pawhuska. Cashion chewing up over 300 yards in rushing, and he's saying, all right, you guys, you're going to have to make some plays for me out here on the edge because we're going to have to slow down this run game, and I just don't think they can do it.
No, do you ever scout yourself? I scout
exactly.
Cashion,
yeah.
And I say, if it was me and I'm trying to stop Cashion, I'm going to make them beat me in the air with those guys. Because I can't let them run the ball, because if they control the clock and they control that, they are going to win the game. Right. So let's try to let's stop them in the run game, make them throw the ball and complete big plays like that, because, most teams you play aren't going to have guys that are going to make those plays. And let's make them make the play. And that time, the Wildcats were able to make the big play for the touchdown after the craziness of the fumble, pass, whatever it was. I do believe they got it right. And if we go back and watch this replay, we will be able to see that it was a forward pass. The officials got it right, and the outcome was in the Cashion Wildcat favor.
So we're a little past halfway here through this first quarter of play. 5:08 remaining in the first quarter. Cashion now takes an early lead, and Cashion leaning on that passing game so far is really, Nick's not had a lot of success yet. Ben's been able to scramble for a few yards, but the straight running game hasn't been there. Ringling's done a good job stopping that, but like I said, you can't take away both. And it looks like Cashion's done a good job taking away the Ringling passing game. So we'll see how this kind of evolves as we continue through this first quarter. Bryson Hogan now will kick off. He'll kick down the left hash. Ringling there with the return, and pushed out of bounds is number 21, I believe, and that is Kenyon McGahee for the Blue Devils. He's pushed out by number 3, Max Brown. Good coverage there by Cashion. It looks like Ringling will take over on their own 33-yard line.
Yeah, and like you said, it's going to be that who's going to be able to kind of balance it out the best, I think. Right now we're kind of coming up and stopping that run. We've had some wins in that secondary going one-on-one. And can our defensive backs keep winning those matchups and letting our defense really stack up and stop that run?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised here to see Carson Daniel get involved in the run game a little bit here. I bet Ringling will try to lean on that a little bit. We'll see. Got a high formation behind him. Old school Ringling football right here as Daniel will take the snap under center. He'll hand to the fullback this time. The first guy through, Nick Navabi's there pretty quick, and he'll shut that down for just a gain of 2. That's number 10, Rance Wilson, the fullback on the carry. And looked like he had a little space there early, but here came number 4 doing what he's done all year.
Yep.
And he's shutting that down early for a short 2-yard gain.
Just coming downhill. I mean, Nick is so good and a smart football player. He's going to be in those positions to make those plays, and that time he came downhill hard and stopped him for a short gain.
So first time we've seen the fullback carry there, which Ringling will use a lot. They'll mix it up. Daniel back under center. Heavy formation. Now he'll hand off to the halfback. And he'll follow his fullback for a pretty good gain. Looks like 88 Jackson Vandruff there with the initial hit. Gavin Fipple will come help clean it up. Not sure why the officials stopping the clock there. It wasn't a first down, but he winds it back. As Ringling will they'll pick up about 6 on that. We'll have 3rd and 2. Another big 3rd down here on the Ringling side of the field for this Cashion defense.
Yeah, that play right there, I mean, that's one of those, they're just power run. Yep. I mean, just took it at them, and you have that fullback. We talked about Rance, what's his last name? But I think he's a sophomore, but that kid is a hard runner, and he does a good job of getting out and really leading the way for some of those tailbacks.
So Daniel under center, 3rd down and 2. He'll hand to the halfback. That's number 8. And he'll get around the left edge as Gavin tried to come up and shut it down. Just couldn't get there quite in time. And number 8, Colton Fincher, will have the 2nd first down of the game for the Blue Devils as they're almost in Cashion territory on their own 49-yard line.
Yeah, that's one of those 3rd down conversions right there on their side of the 50. They're going to make those plays. They are a good running team, and that's what you saw right there. Those linemen are making those blocks. And it's almost methodical the way that they can do that. And it's if Cashion's defense can come up and make piles and make some of those stops.
Like they got Cashion there, hard count, as Carson Daniel kind of gives a little payback here. Turnabout's fair play as Cashion's going to get caught. Looks like Martinez barely got the crown of his helmet into the neutral zone, and that'll be an encroachment call on Cashion and a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I think I don't think we saw a big boy on the front line that whole Pawhuska game. Talking about big boys, some of those linemen kind of coming over and playing defense. This week, you're seeing Critter and Giuliano kind of going over from the offensive line to the defensive line to really help stop that run game. Yep. And that time they got Giuliano to jump off sides.
Joey Wilson here trying to get over to the correct side, and he'll get over there. They hand off again. A big play there as Daniel just hands it off to number 8, Colton Fincher, and they're just methodically moving this ball down the field by just, it looks like left tackle almost every single time as they're in that heavy formation.
Yeah, I mean, that was another one of those plays. I said they're good at what they do, and if they can run the ball like this and control the clock, that falls right into what they game plan. If they can keep the ball out of Ben Harmon's hands and some of those big plays that we just saw on the Cashion offense, that's what they want to do, and they feel like that's the way that they're probably going to be able to win this ball game. And whenever Coach Coons is over there seeing 8 yards of carry, he's got a big smile on his face, and he's going to keep doing it until you stop him.
Yeah, and I think our Cashion coaching staff didn't like something about our alignment. Joey, I don't know if you noticed, but Joey there on the first down play where we got called for offsides, he was split way out wide there. I mean, way outside the end, and then kind of got caught on the 1st and 5 play moving around and looked like we were kind of misaligned there. I heard our Cashion coaches over here next to us kind of alluding to that, so maybe that's that timeout. But that's Cashion's last time out of the half. We're done now, but the second one was definitely worth it because that probably kept them.
Second one absolutely worth
it. We talked about last week, timeout of the year was whenever they tried the fake kick, and they were going to have kind of snuck the guy. I think this might have taken over timeout of the year right there to let them have time to get the call right, and which I think if they overturn the call, shouldn't have made them use the timeout, but that's not the way it works here.
I did notice these last 4 or 5 plays. We had Vandruff over here on the near side end
and they were running away from Jackson every single play. And it
probably a
like,
smart move by Coach Coons and the Ringling offense. We came out of the timeout
and adjusted that a little bit. So Jackson now out there on that Cashion's right edge or the far side.
But they've had the success running the ball. Don't be surprised with this year. The Ringling offense will use that to their advantage and try to sneak one over the top.
And they'll fake to the fullback and they'll go right side this time. Nice lead block out there by number 21. As he's still going, that's Colton Fincher, and he'll have a big gain down to the Cashion 16-yard line as they mixed it up there. And I mean, right now, to me, I'm not a football guy, obviously, but it looks like wherever Vandruff is,
they're running
the other way. They're going the other way.
And that time they did just a misdirection, like you said. And then when he got out there and got stacked up, the Cashion Wildcats did a good job of just gang tackling, but it was more like they were trying to rip the ball out than get him down, and he was able to get about 4 more yards there.
So they stay heavy here. Nobody split out. Everybody in tight in the eye. Carson Daniel under center. This time he will hand to his halfback again. That's Fincher. Here comes Bryce Burt. Gets hands on Fincher early there. Fincher had some room down that right side, it looked like, but number 9, sophomore Bryce Burt got there early, got downhill, got hands on him, slowed his progress, and kept him to a gain of 3.
Yeah, Bryce Burke and Nick Nabalvi, both of those linebackers are going to have pretty big games, I think, to be able to stop this run game. And those on the edge right there, you got to come downhill and make sure tackles, because like you said, if he'd have got around him, he'd have had some green grass to get into that end zone. So good thing he brought him down.
See if maybe they throw it here. 3 substitutions come in the game. A lot of receiving type players came in, so we'll see. As Daniels he'll hand it left side. That's number 11 this time. Rumbling, stumbling all the way into the end zone. Nick thought he was held there, couldn't get a call, but nonetheless, number 11, Caden Barron, will take that carry off the left tackle into the end zone, and Ringling will have a chance to go ahead here if they go for 2, which a lot of times they do.
This year, they've been kicking quite a bit this year, and I think they will stick to that unless they try to do something, a little trick, just to get up on us. But they are lining up in that kicking formation. But like you said, I saw Nick there on the replay kind of holding his hands up going, hey, let go of me. And that's something that we'll see if they continue to let them get away with as the game goes on. And in these championship games, they let them play.
They let them play. Yep, we found that out last week. Not a lot of flags. So here comes the extra point to tie this thing up. It's up, and I think it will get long enough, and it is good. Wasn't sure if it got inside that right upright, but it did, and th'll tie it up 7-7, 2:27 left. So, guys, Cashion goes down, scores. Like we said, what people stereotypically think of as Cashion football, chunking that thing down the field, letting their guys go make plays in the air. And here comes Ringling, answers back with what we think of as Ringling stereotypical football.
Absolutely. They all kind of reverted back to their almost true form. When you think of Ringling football in the past, for sure, you think of that under center, just run the ball as much as you can down the field. And that's kind of what worked for them really well there on that last drive.
Yeah, and you see the kid down there on the crutches, number 61, Cam Maroney. That's a big loss for the Cashion Wildcats. We hadn't had him since the Tonkawa game, but in a game like this, that's the kind of kid that you want up there on that front line really wreaking havoc. But the boys up front, they're going to have to kind of reach down deep and don't let them get this run game going, because when they do, they burn a lot of clock. I think they got the ball with about, 8 minutes left in the
that was about a little under 6, I think.
That's been one of the biggest keys for any team wanting to get a leg up on Cashion. One of the keys you have to look at in any game that a team successfully did it kind of gave us some problems, was if you can control the clock and keep it out of Cashion's, Ben Harmon's hands, you're going to have a little bit of an advantage in the game.
Just limit the time that the offense, the Cashion offense, has the ball in their hands, and make it more important every single time. It kind of amps up the feel of the game.
Cashion going to have to play clean here offensively throughout the rest of this first half. No timeouts, so going to have to play clean, going to have to communicate and get things rolling downhill. We'll see what Ringling does coming out in this next defensive possession for the Blue Devils, see if they make adjustments. Kick is up, it's off. It'll go to Lagasse this time. He'll field about the 7-yard line. He'll go back to the right, kind of jogging, waiting on a block, waiting for a seam, and nothing there. And Lagasse will just run out of bounds, and Cashion will take over first down and 10 on their own 23-yard line.
Yeah, 2:19 left to play in this first half, and like you said, it's going to be big time for the Cashion offense to be clean, because they can't call a timeout to fix anything right here. But it's playing clean and really being able to move the ball, use the time that you have in this first half to get that score and go up, because just like in 2019, Ringling will have the ball in the second half, and if you can get up going into that locker room, you kind of feel like, hey, we've got the ball rolling, now come out and get a stop. And if you don't get in the end zone here, they have the advantage getting the ball coming out at halftime.
Yeah, twins right, twins left, and pretty much one-on-one again. As I'm looking out here, and Lagasse is one-on-one. They'll clear Manning out, and they'll throw it backwards to Nabavi. That's a lateral. He'll try to get to the edge. Pursuit comes, and he'll stiff arm one. Thought maybe we had a face mask there. It's number 5, Chase Taylor, had some good pursuit and gets Nabavi out of bounds. Looks like right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Yeah, no gain there. And like you said, it was behind the line of scrimmage so far, and they're so good at that pursuit and the speed that they have. Didn't let him get to that edge. But really, they're playing within 3 yards of Landon Lagasse and Mason Manning. They're going to challenge us, and they're going to say, you're going to have to go over the top to beat us.
I'm going to write that one down. I think that may be a setup play for later, as they cleared Manning out and Lagasse was one-on-one, that Nick might throw that later. And they'll go fade again as they try to take advantage. That might be out of bounds.
That one is out of bounds.
Yeah, that one's out of bounds. They might call that in.
Wow.
This guy's marking it. He's marking that inbounds. Yeah. He never gave the incomplete sign. He just stopped the clock. So
I was kind of shocked we weren't hearing the Ringling boos from the other side of the field off of that
one. We do
one.
have a flag on the play, so let's see what the penalty is. We got a flag right at the line of scrimmage. Illegal man downfield will be the call against Cashion. So we'll see now. Coach Coons might decline that, bring up 3rd and 10. I don't know if he wants to give Cashion another shot on 2nd down. We'll see what he does here. Yeah, he's going to talk to the linesman over there to figure out what he wants to do here. 3rd and 10 or 2nd and 15.
Neiman down on the sideline, he's texting up, and they're daring us to throw it. I mean, you can see it just like we can, and Shaq's down there knowing that, and that's why you've seen those deep shots. Neiman's saying, let's throw that skinny post and try to get something over the middle, because they're, that middle linebacker's the deepest guy on the field, and if you just do a little run-pass option where he comes up, the middle of that field is going to be wide open.
Yeah, Ben's just got to get that a little further inside, and that's probably a touchdown. 3rd and 10 nonetheless. Here we go. Cashion trying to find a way here. 3rd and long, and you don't want to get that Ringling offense back out there just so quick. So 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Hartman, he'll go fade again, as this one's going to be pretty tough as Landon tries to get back to it.
He rode him out of the
a lot of contact there. It looks like both guys had a hand on each other, but Landon couldn't quite break free from the contact there, so that ball will fall incomplete. Bring up 4th down and 10 for Cashion as Ringling right there, guys. Give them credit. They won the one-on-one that time.
And that was the key. One of the keys I had on the offense is win those one-on-ones. That time they won it. Here in the punt game, I watched a lot of film on Ringling, and this number 21, that is their deep man to McGahee to return the punt. I think he returned a punt about every game I watched. Do not kick it to him with give him a head of steam coming downhill.
Yep. So Lagasse set to punt here. Waiting for the snap. Looks like we might get a delay of game here on Cashion, as they have no timeouts left, and I don't think they got that off. That ball delay game on Cashion. So this field position's looking very promising for the Blue Devils as we approach we're still a little under 2 minutes left. As that Cashion possession really didn't take up any time, guys.
Nothing, because it was 3 passes.
Yeah, 3 passes down the field.
Ran out of bounds, 2 incompletes, and here we go. Ringling getting the ball back without anything really coming off the clock. It looks like McGahee's he's going to camp out around the 45-yard line of Cashion, so they're looking for good field position here. Hopefully Landon can get one off, but he's kind of punting into this wind right now, this north wind. Snap back. So set himself. He'll get it off the side of his foot. Get a little roll, though, but that's probably better for Cashion, guys, to keep that thing out of the wind. He got a little spiral on it and got that thing actually back into Ringling territory.
Yeah, I don't know if you could hear it or not, but when it came off his foot, the Ringling fans cheered because they thought it kind of looked like a little bit of a shank, but it had spiral, hit the ground, and just rolled out and wound up being Ringling ball on their side of the 50, which is not much, but it is on the 49. It did get it out of the shadow of our goalpost.
Yeah, anytime I think if you watch where that punt returner's setting up, if the ball ends up anywhere past that,
him,
I mean you got to call that a win.
Yeah.
And plus you don't have you don't have McGahee returning the thing either. So back in the eye, Daniel under center. Got Fincher dotting it. Daniel will take the snap under center hand, left side again to Fincher.
Cashion
got it. Oh, up in the air. Max Brown comes up with it in the air, and he's gone. He is all by himself into the end zone. Only got chasing him, Nick and Bobby, and Cashion will take the lead on the first really big play of this game, guys. Cashion makes the defensive stop and give it up to that defensive line who had pressure behind the line of scrimmage, made Fincher adjust. He didn't protect it. Somebody gets a hat on the ball. And there's Max Brown to clean it up.
Absolutely great play by Max Brown. Just picked that ball up even as soon as it came loose and ran it all the way to the end zone for a Cashion touchdown.
I want to say that may have been Barron. Caden Barron.
I think Barron
was the one that scored the touchdown. They kind of lined him back out there, and because he is one of those kids that is a hard runner.
Right.
But what I did notice in some of those games, he does run with the ball out there, and somebody hit it out from underneath his arm and landed right in the arms of Max Brown for the touchdown.
Yeah, I'd love to see a replay on that and
see
who got the hat on the ball. But obviously that had to be a helmet on the ball to me because that ball popped straight out. Yeah, so good play by somebody. I'd love to see the replay. We don't have it yet, but we'll see it eventually. So just give it up to that Cashion defensive line. It may have been Vander, may have been Wilson. Who knows who it was, but we'll take it nonetheless.
We will take it all day long. And, Max Brown gets that ball about the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
50-yard line. And all he saw was green grass, and nobody is catching that kid when he has nothing but green grass in front of him. And, wow, just a crazy turn of events right here. They had the big, after that just long, methodical drive, kind of did what they want to all the way down to the end zone. They get the ball with 2 minutes left in the first half thinking, let's go get in the end zone, go get a touchdown up going into the halftime, come out and get the ball.
If you think back to that Ringling game 2019, that was killer going into halftime. Cashion not being able to score, being down at halftime, that was killer for the Cashion motivation coming into the second half.
Just being able to get that touchdown lead. Now let's kick it off. Let's not, make any big mistakes on this kickoff where they can get any momentum back, and then get out there and really play another hard-nosed defensive stand to not let them get in the end zone and tie it up.
I don't know about you guys, but it feels like mid-third quarter to me right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Drama-wise, emotion-wise, and I got a minute.
Hey,
we're still in the first quarter here.
Hang on.
You should have been in that box in Pawhuska. There was a point in the third quarter I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Yeah, so what a great game so far. A lot of great moments, a lot of emotion, a lot of drama. And here we go as Cashion will kick it off to Ringling. Our man number 8, Bryson Hogan, will kick this thing off. And he will go down the left hash about to the 19-yard line. That's fielded, and there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Guess who? Jackson Vandriff is there to wrap up Canyon McGahee, number 21, as he'll take it back to the 35-yard line. But
number 88 gets his long arms around you like that. You're pretty well done and stuck with.
Hang on to the ball, and
that's about all you can do.
Yeah, and you talked about it, and I think Nima and we all talked about Vandriff in that pregame show of just the tackles he makes, and I said it time and time again. He just looks different whenever he tackles. When the kid gets tackled, I can tell when it's a Vandriff tackle or not. Because it's just like, wow. He just sucks them in, and they can't get loose.
Yep. Number 77, Jaden Miller's going to come in here and try to help out a little bit on that defensive front. Try to stop this run game for the Blue Devils as they stay tight. Under center again is Daniel, and he'll hand it off and clean up the middle. Stopped by number 3, Max Brown, as they bring up number 8, Colin Fincher, off the bench back into that eye. And boys, you see both arms around that ball as he was going through that hole. If he's got that thing tucked, he may break free for more, but he took the safe route that time, and that ball was not going to be fumbled.
Yeah, he wasn't looking to finesse anything there. He was looking for somebody to run over, and really nobody got an arm on him until Max Brown, and he ran him over, but that was his mission right there, and not fumble, run somebody over, and that was a big pickup on first down there for the Devils.
Daniel under center. They've yet to split a receiver in these last 3 possessions as they run right side this time. Another healthy game. Looks like Lagasse comes up to help out Bryce Burke make the play on Fincher again, as he'll go for about 6 yards on first down. So Ringling staying in that second and less than 5 where they want to be, so they can mix up their run pass option.
They're going to at some point, and it may be right here, and it may be 3 plays from now, but they're at some point going to try to get one over the top. And if our defensive backs are falling asleep looking in that backfield, they're going to get it over on you.
They'll hand it to Fincher again. He goes left side this time. Another clean hole as their offensive line is opening up some space right now for number 8, Colin Fincher.
Golly, I can't believe it's only. I was thinking this is the end of half. No, this is the end of the first quarter. 17 seconds left in this first quarter. I doubt they have a, run a play here going before this.
They're going to let this one go here.
Yeah, I guess in the second quarter.
Seconds, so.
And finally, the first quarter will come to an end.
There goes Ringling as they're going to the sideline, and Cashion will take a 14-7 lead after that big defensive play. And that scoop and score for Max Brown for about 50 yards into the end zone. Cashion up 14-7 after the first quarter of the 2021 Class A State Championship game. We're going to go to break, and we'll see you on the other side.
Team up with Pioneer iVideo and start streaming the most popular TV shows and movies from your favorite devices today. Download the iVideo app and start watching anywhere in your home using Pioneer Internet. Each package includes free high-definition and cloud DVR features like video on demand, Restart TV, and Replay TV, just in case you forget to record a program. Visit gopioneer.com for more details and compatible devices. Some restrictions apply.
At Water Heater Man, we specialize in repairing and replacing all water heaters. We service the OKC Metro and surrounding towns with fast, reliable service. We keep our vans fully stocked with essential parts needed for basic repairs, and new tanks are always on the vans ready to go. We offer free estimates on all jobs with financing options available. We match manufacturer's warranty for all newly replaced water heaters. We'll get your water heater back up and running as fast as possible so you don't have to put your life on hold waiting for service. Give us a call today, 405-844-TANK. That's 405-844-8265. Go Wildcats!
Okay, we're back as we're about to start the second quarter of play here at Richardson Stadium at UCO. I'm here, Chad Tishner with Chris Gibson and Drew Baker. And we're all kind of worn out so far, and it's just been a quarter. I mean, a lot of emotion. I can imagine what the coaches and players are going through, but up here in the box, I know we're sweating a little bit, but it's been fun so far. And Ringling moving the ball methodically again in Ringling style is their 1st and 10 from Cashion 40-yard line, and they're back in that eye. Big, heavy formation is number 1, Carson Daniels under center. He'll bark out the signals. And he'll pitch it right side, and Mason Manning was there early, blew that up. Looked like that's got to be a block in the back, but
or a
no
hold.
call. Either way, Mason Manning there early, and he will get a tackle for loss there. Give credit to Mason as he read that out, sniffed it out early that time.
Yeah, Mason did a great job of just coming off the ball quick. Let's see if they don't try to switch up their cadence a little bit, because Mason just, went off of the cadence apparently right there, because he blew past that offensive tackle there and was in the backfield before the ball was even handed off.
Still in the eye, and now Daniel, he'll look over to the sideline.
They're going to try one deep here. I have a feeling before.
Like it's number 8, Fincher in the backfield. I may be wrong on that. I have a hard time seeing that. They'll go left side here. Cashion tries to wrap up. Not quite on the initial tackle. We tried to get him there for about a 2-yard gain, but give credit to Caden Barron this time, as he broke that tackle, and he'll make this a 3rd and manageable as number 3, Max Brown, finally cleaned it up for Cashion. But look like 3rd and 4 here, guys. Now, obviously, 2-down territory for Ringling, as they're going to, try to run this thing forward a couple more times.
Absolutely.
See if Cashion can make the play.
You have the ball. They have the ball.
Line.
Yeah, they have the ball on their own 34-yard line, and it's 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 4. If they can't get 2 yards of play, Coons is going to say, we don't deserve to win this game anyway.
Yeah, Fincher in the backfield now, and Daniel under center. He'll hand it to Fincher. He'll find some room on the right side and breaks through for about 5 or 6, and he'll have a 1st down as Gavin Pippin finally cleaned that up. And number 8, Mr. Colin Fincher, signals 1st down. And guys, just interesting as we were talking real quick here for this next play, if you just seen these stats that came through. Rushing yards for Ringling, 98. Passing yards for Cashion, 98. So pretty interesting there as the different styles. But 1st and 10 now from the 29 is Carson Daniel. He'll look back to the sideline. Coach Coons get a play call. Whether they're going to run it right or left at this point is all I think that's up for grabs. As he'll hand it off, number 8 down the right side this time. He's fighting for yards. Give him credit as Cashion was there about 2 yards. Cashion was there to kind of make the initial contact, but number 8, he's running hard. Colton Fincher, guys, he's moving that pile for an extra couple, it seems like, every time.
Yep, and Colton Fincher and
Barron,
they're both kids that, Coons said that they don't have that power running game, but they have the heart of a power runner. I mean, they're kids that are going to bring the hit to you, and they're going to keep their feet churning. And then they've got that little spin move. You know, when somebody hits them, they're going to spin off and get a few extra yards.
Oh, play
There's that pass.
Here comes the pressure. Cashion in the backfield, and they will spin him up. And Carson Daniel will go down, as Coach Coon said, all right, guys, it's time. We've ran the ball enough, and we're going to try to deep one, but just no time there, guys. Who won the edges? I mean, it was both sides. It was Wilson and Vandruff both in that backfield.
And on that one, I saw the offensive coordinator over there telling Daniels, turn and just throw the ball up. The guy had a step, but Max Brown was on his heels, and if that ball would have had any air under it, I think Max would have been able to go knock that down. But right there, I just don't know. Kuhn sees that. He may say, let's run the ball. Why did we pass it? You know, why did we do that?
So they'll split one each side, as now they'll have to throw the ball. Daniel goes slant across the middle to number 20, and that's Caleb Taylor who he'll make the catch. And it looks like number 19 landing the gas, and maybe Nick Nabavi there cleaning that up.
Big fourth down right here.
That will bring up a 4th and 4, and big pivotal play. And Chris, you alluded to it about last year. You know, the last time we played 2 years ago in those 3rd and 4th down plays. So here's a big 4th down in Cashion territory. 4th down and 4, and they'll go shotgun here. Daniel in the shotgun. Been a while since we've seen this. He'll drop back. He'll go slant again. It's broken up. Broken up. And that is number 19, Landon Lagasse. He comes in. And Max Brown, I think.
Gavin was man-on-man out there.
Was that Gavin man-on-man? He was in tight, guys. Yep. And here comes the safety downhill. You know, Landon comes in and breaks that up. So just great coverage and great. I think Cashion knew what was coming. And they were prepared, and they had that scouted up, and that's what Ringling's on, and Cashion did a good job blowing that up.
Yep, I think the second that Ringling offense lined up in that formation, they knew what was coming, knew what was going to come to them.
You saw them. They switched into that specific defense when they saw that line up, and just a great job on defense right there, seeing that and then making the play.
Okay, so Cashion goes empty here. Trips left, twins right, and it's one-on-one, boys, across the board. So look for a fade here.
Run up the middle,
go down the middle. That's Max Brown by himself, and he almost intercepted us.
Ben
put that right on Max's hands. It dropped out of Max's hands right into the chest of number 11, Caden Barron. So, a lot of things could have happened there.
Yeah,
but, man, great pass by Ben as he put that right on the dime.
That was one of the same plays. Remember the play in Pawhuska where the kid just pretty much tackled Max before the ball even got there, and they didn't call it pass interference? That was the same exact play right there. That was laid perfectly into Max's hands and just couldn't come down with it, or that would have been another one of those big plays to put us into Ringling territory.
So 2nd and 10 here. Cashion finds himself in 2nd long. Harmon will roll right. Doesn't see anything there. Cashion receivers trying to find something. Ben will scramble. He had Manning there kind of around the 31-yard line. Looked like Manning had found a little pocket of space, but Ben couldn't get enough time to get that ball delivered. But nonetheless, Ben comes up with a good gain of 4 there to at least make this manageable on 3rd down.
That was the very first time I think I've really seen them just all drop a bunch of guys out down into coverage, back into coverage, and they had everybody pretty well covered. There wasn't any real soft spot that Ben could find, so he did a good job of just pulling it down and getting 5 yards there.
So we're back in 3rd down here. These 3rd downs are huge throughout the game. We've been talking about it. 7:43 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Nabavi behind Harmon. We got twins left and right. Lagasse is out left. Manning's to the right, and it looks like, well, it's got to be Ringling calling the timeout.
Oh.
Well, they called Cashion the timeout. I don't think Cashion.
So did they not make us use a timeout when they?
Maybe they gave it back on the.
I think that they gave us back that timeout after the play that they.
Okay. Well, they took it off the board. I'm just going by the scoreboard over here, and we didn't have any on the board, so I guess they gave us that one back. So.
So now we have no timeouts.
All right, we'll take a quick commercial. Yeah, we are out now. We'll be right back after this quick break. All right, we're back. We will settle into a 3rd down and 6 with 7:43 remaining in the second quarter here at Richardson Stadium. Wildcats on top of the Ringling Blue Devils, 14-7. Cashion driving here as they still way deep back in their own territory, but we'll come up with hopefully a 3rd down play that will keep the chains moving for the Wildcats. Here come the Blue Devils out of their timeout. Like we said, Cashion out of timeouts now. And it looks like we'll go empty again, guys, so we'll see what Ringling does here. If they're going to, looks like they might
dropping
soften
2
up
guys
a little bit and drop some here. It looks like they will on this 3rd down and 6, so don't be surprised here. We've got numbers to the right. Numbers to the right are definitely in our favor for bubble. We'll see what happens. Harmon will scramble, try to get away, cannot get away, and then Harmon will go down. As
smart,
Ringling, yep, Ringling number 55, that's big number 55, Scotty Taylor, finally gets Harmon to the ground, and that'll be a loss of 3, and Cashion will face a 4th and 9, and Landon Gas will come back out to punt.
Yeah, and it looked like Max Brown had kind of came open right there where he could have, drilled that in there on a hard slant, and I don't know if somebody might have been in his face or he just didn't see it in time to pull the trigger, but then Ben did a good job of pulling the ball down, not trying to do anything too much. We saw it in the Pawhuska game where he tried to throw one up and just kind of floated it out there and about gave everybody a heart attack. That time he did a good job of just tucking it down and going down and giving your punter a chance to get out of the shadow of your end zone. And right here, we talked about it, that this punt returner is dangerous if you let him get the ball in his hands with any space. I want to see Landon do again just like he did earlier. I would angle it to that far sideline where you're on this near hash, angle it to that far sideline and just let it bounce out.
So Cashion had a illegal substitution penalty there, backed it up 5 yards. So Lagasse punting again. He'll punt it away about at his 9-yard line, gets it pretty high up in the air. McGahe's going to field this one right at the 50. There's a block in the back, and that did not get thrown. And McGahee, here he goes, down the right sideline, and he'll be all the way down.
I don't understand why we punt to him.
24-yard line, about the 25-yard line is Cashion. I really thought we were going to get a block in the back there, about the 46-yard line, as it looked like number 18, Seth Gilbert, was there and kind of got bumped in the back, but no call from the back judge. He was standing 2 yards from it, and we will have a 1st down and 10 at the Cashion 25 for Ringling, who they're in business here.
That's somebody you want to avoid punting to from on the Ringling return team there. I knew that if he didn't fair catch that, he was going to go for a decent amount of yards.
Yeah, and Nima, he just takes up, he said short field, so they can't just run the clock all the way down in the second half. So if you're looking for a silver lining,
there you go,
that's it.
Let's see if this Cashion Wildcats can get a stop here and get Ringling off the field. And they'll go.
That's that counter.
Back, and they counter back to number 8. He'll go all the way into the end zone. That's number 8, Colton Fincher. And like I said, a little counter there, pull back, fake, give it to Fincher on the right side, and he barely touched as he rumbles 25 yards into the end zone, and Ringling looking to tie this thing up.
Yeah, you had, I think, Nick came up to fill that hole on that, for that fullback there, and just left a wide open hole there for the Fincher to see Green all the way to the end zone, and I don't think anybody even touched him before he crossed the line.
Caden Barrett here into an attempted extra point. All these are so important in this game. Let's see if Cashion can make a play here and keep a 1-point lead. Snap is back, holds good. Barrett's kick is up, a little wobbly, looked like it may have been left, but no, it sneaks inside that left upright, but not the cleanest of kicks, but it'll still count for a point, and we will be tied up, guys. 6:43 left here, and kind of, like Drew mentioned earlier, we're kind of eking up on that halftime, and see if Cashion can get one in before as Ringling will get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and this is, I talked about big drives last game and a big play last game. When those in that fourth quarter, I mean, you think this is first half, it's not that big a deal, but it is. This is a big drive right here for the Cashion offense. We haven't really been able to move the ball much since that touchdown, the touchdown drive that we had, the second drive of the game, and from then on, they've done a good job of, taking away everything but that big play, and we haven't had that big play since that second drive of the game. We've had opportunities, and Coach Shackford said, you got to take advantage of those opportunities. Max Brown dropping that almost would have been a touchdown if he had caught the ball. You can't have those. You've got to take advantage of those opportunities in big games like this. to get a win.
Yeah, high risk, high reward on those, and I think that's kind of what Ringling is banking on right now. Is those are high risk, high reward plays. They've done a great job. Give Ringling credit for Cashion is one-dimensional right now, and we've lived off being balanced all year, and we'll see if Cashion can make some adjustments here, get that run game fired up a little bit. As Ringling will kick off, 6:43 remaining in the second quarter. As Barron kicks off. Kick it this time. It's Lagasse. It bounces off the ground. He'll grab it. He'll go right side. Try to find some room. Got Manning here to lead block. And just can't find the gap to get going. And he'll be down right at the 25-yard line. About where Cashion started almost every possession off every Ringling kickoff today. So.
Yeah, there was a lane there. It just took him a little bit of time to get around that edge. And by the time he did, some of those Ringling kids got off those blocks and was able to bring him down there about the 25-yard line. But, that last drive Cashion had, Ringling finally dropped back into some coverage, and they were kind of trying to take away some of those deep passes. And now let's see if Cashion, adjusts and tries to run the ball some to make them adjust back a little bit.
Manning left, Lagasse right, Harmon in the backfield by himself. Now here comes Lagasse in motion. There's a keeper by Harmon as he fakes that jet sweep to Lagasse, tries to go right, but there's that Ringling defensive line, and number 55 wrecking some havoc. Scotty Taylor was through there again early, and Harmon just couldn't break free, and Cashion will lose 2 on the play.
Yeah, that time that was one of the go-to plays last week against Pawhuska. Right. They could get that edge, kind of get the linebacker and some of those guys leaning one way, and then let Ben pull it down and get some big yardage. That time, to give credit to Ringling, they had that scouted and they were ready for that play, and they had guys there to shut it down quickly.
Nabavi behind Harmon. Towards left, singled up right. Harmon now, he'll look fade, not there. Try to scramble away, and it's not there. He'll get a yard on the play, but nice play that time by number 70, Jackson Perry, who sheds off a block because there wasn't a lot left. If Ben gets by side of the line of scrimmage, he got a lot of room to go.
The Ringling guys up front are doing a really good job of collapsing that pocket for Ben really fast and just staying put where they are for when he decides to tuck it and run it.
Yeah, they have some big guys up front to try to stop that run right here. Now that's 3rd and long. They know we're going to have to pass it. They brought in some little quicker guys to try to get to Ben, and we've got to make a big play here to get this first down.
Yep. Manning open over here. Ben doesn't see him. Now Manning's open.
There he
got
is.
him in the middle. And Mason Manning will elude one tackle, trying to make another one miss. He's down, but it'll be a first down. As Mason Manning looked like they were in a kind of too deep soft zone. Manning find a little space right there on the hash, right past the first down sticks. And good job by Harmon avoiding the early pressure and finding Manning open there in the middle.
Yeah, and Ben's going to have to be able to do that right there. Yep. He's going to have to be able to, if that first initial read is not there, he's going to have to be able to pull that ball down, get on the outside, find the open person in that zone, and the receivers are going to have to find that soft spot. And that time, Ben did a good job of getting out there, keeping his eyes downfield, and Mason did a good job of finding that soft zone. And for the big completion.
3 seconds on the play clock. I don't know. We're going to get this one off, guys. Yep, we do barely. And what's that another play? Is that keeper to the right for Harmon? That's a face mask, and they caught that one as Ben's head got ripped around, and Cashion barely got that play off, guys. That play clock was whittling down quick, and it's going to be a big positive play for Cashion.
Yeah, and that's one of those where it hits 0, you have that second, and I looked over, it said 1, looked back, and we snapped the ball. Right. And like you said, it was just when you don't have any timeouts, those are you've got to be clean, getting the plays call in time, the coaching staff, and you got to be clean coming in out there and executing on time.
Well, they called that the 5-yard version, guys.
Wow.
He about ripped his head off, it looked like. Pretty shocked
there.
It
was pretty blatant.
That was the only thing that stopped him was his head turning completely backwards.
So that's pretty shocking. But anyway, 2nd and 4 here. We'll hand off to Nabavi, who hadn't carried a while. He's patient. He finds space right side. And that's going to be another 15-yard penalty. That's got to be a horse collar, and they do not call it.
How do you not call that?
And they are letting them play because, the combination of just the 5-yard variety on the previous play with no horse collar, they're letting them play, guys.
Wow. Nick did a good job. We haven't seen Nick run the ball in probably the last 3 drives.
Yep.
That time Nick gets it, kind of does his signature thing, bounces it outside, finds that room to run, gets out there, and the only kid that could stop him was behind him, grabbed him by the horse collar, brought him down, no flag.
Kind of the same thing with those holding penalties there.
Oh, that's a missed exchange, and now
just run it.
Harmon's trying to make something out of nothing, and he'll at least get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a half a yard. Is not a clean handoff. Not sure if that was a play action or if that was going to go to Navabi. We'll never know, but it looks like guys were run blocking up front, so I think that was going to Nick. But anyway, Harmon at least gets a yard back.
That's why I said whenever he picked it up off the bounce, I did not want him to throw the ball because if he would have thrown it, it would have been a penalty with guys down the field. So he did the smart thing there, just get back to the line of scrimmage. Did get a yard there to bring up 2nd and 9.
I've seen Ben score a touchdown against Crescent on a similar play this year, but Navabi behind Harmon, goes Quinn's left. That's Manning and Lagasse looks like
they got a guy over the top.
And now we'll try to scramble. Now, nope, throws right to Navabi. It's not there. It's going to be a big sack. Yeah, I'm not sure. That just never really looked smooth. I'm not sure what was going on there, but Ben really never got his feet set. I mean, it looked like a screen or something quick across the middle, and maybe Ringling just had it covered up.
They were trying to set something up there. Ben came up and then tried to pump fake, and he just should have just pulled it down and got what he could get out of that. And he tried to
it kind of looked like that play he tried to develop with Manning in the end there after the play was kind of falling apart. But he just could never get set.
Too many white jerseys around him right there to really be able to manufacture anything out of that. But they're going to have to hurry. 5 seconds.
18, 4 seconds. Cashion's got to get this off here. Trips left, Twins right. And they'll just throw a fade up down the sideline, and it's out of bounds. Wait, maybe interception. Let's hope he intercepted it. It'd be a good punt. And he will intercept. No, incomplete as the back judge comes over. I don't know how a back judge overrules the linesman, but all right, whatever. He calls it out of bounds, and now Cashion will be forced to punt on 4th down from their own, from the Ringling 49-yard line. So big sack, big play there by the Ringling defense, and Cashion lining up to punt.
Yeah, with you see a little bit more success there for the Cashion offense, and but it was still passing that ball to kind of soften up that run game. We finally saw Nick find some success, but we never really went back to giving him the ball. I think that's going to be what's going to be the game difference in this game if we can.
Get us on this one, this play clock expired.
Yeah, if we can get the ball to those running backs,
is really coming back to haunt us because. I think personally we would have taken a timeout on one of the 2nd or the 3rd down play where we weren't really getting lined up and comfortable. We were rushing, and I think the lack of timeouts there those last 2 plays. And I think every time we've lined up to punt, I may be wrong. I think we had a 5-yard penalty every time.
Yeah, I think we have so far. And I mean, we've been cutting it close throughout the last 4 plays on this play clock, snapping it right as it turns to 0.
And we had the pooch punt with Ben set up without McGahee back, and now he is back. So let's hope that doesn't come back to hurt us.
What are we doing?
We'll catch it. And Lagasse coming from one side. Now Cashion seems to have McGahee a little more wrapped up this time. They do. Good job by the coverage. And good job setting the edge over there on the left side. I think that was Cotter that got down the field and set the edge and allowed some help to get there. So did a good job. And now, so 2:52, we'll see. Ringling probably going to have to throw the ball a little bit here, don't you think, if they don't break a big run?
Well, they got 2 timeouts left. So the way that they've been running the ball, I don't see – I mean, I'm telling you, after that big sack where they were just doing what they wanted to in the run game, Coons is one of those guys that's going, I'm going to go back to my roots and win this game like I've always won championships.
I guess we'll probably see counter here in this possession again as well. So they'll be in the eye. I can't tell who that is back there, Doctor, but Carson Daniel will be under center.
It's 8.
It's number 8. It's Fincher. It'll go to Fincher. It's the counter. They went right back to it. Good job by Cashion that time. Who that was on the bottom. I think it was Gavin Pippin who came
Bryce
in there
and Gavin,
low early.
Yep. Stood him up.
Yeah. So we'll see now, 2nd and long. What do you do here if you're Coons? Cashion has no timeout. So are you going to risk throwing an incompletion and giving the ball to Cashion, or are you just going to run the ball and see what happens no matter what? Either we go to half with the ball or
I think it's a win if they don't. If as long as Cashion doesn't get the ball back, I think it's a win for them. I mean, they're fine. I bet they're fine with going into halftime tied ball game. They get it back when they come back out. So
I'm on that Ringling sideline. I'm saying we're owning the Cashion offense right now.
Yeah.
So let's try to go score.
Let's
try to open it up.
If Ringling makes something happen here before the half, it'll be
Still
crucial.
in the high, and they'll just hand it straight off to number 11. That's Baron. Burke does a good job of wrapping him up as he broke through the hole. Broke through kind of clean there, got 5 more, and it'll be 3rd and about 3 or 4, 3.5 yards. But Bryce Burke there shutting it down and not letting it go any further as the clock's continuing to run. We're under 150. 3rd down and 3, and Ringling doesn't look like they're in a big hurry, guys.
Yeah, they're not in a big hurry, but you still don't want to fall asleep because they can. They've got the ability to go over the top. They might run it down there, at least get them get it close enough to take shots in the end zone. But at some point, they are going to have to throw the ball here.
They'll play action here, but nope, they'll hand it to number 11, and he will go nowhere as he's brought down quickly. On the bottom of that pile is number 4, Nick Nabavi, as Hayden Barron goes nowhere. Unfortunately, Cashion does not have a timeout to stop the clock, so Cashion will get it back, but we're talking maybe 30, 35 seconds if Ringling punts this off.
And this is a big 4th down play. We talked about it over and over again, and that was my key, and I'm going to keep saying it. You get off the field right here on this 4th down and have a shot to get the ball back with any chance at a shot at the end zone is a huge win.
Punt here. Yeah, I saw the coach there was giving the punt motion with his leg like he was punting. Clock running down here. They may not get it.
But they will do the fake right here too.
Yeah,
so you can't
call timeout or take a delay game.
Yeah.
It'll be a delay game here. They didn't get the timeout call, so they're definitely going to see a punt here probably. As now this will be 4th down and 7. With 38 on the clock. Cashion, maybe a return here. We get it, around the 50-yard line. Lagasse is just as capable as his counterpart, number 21, Kenyon McGahee, is bringing one back. So let's see what Cashion can get going here if we can try to make a play on this punt and see if our special teams can have an effect here as we go into half. 38 seconds. Number 55, Scotty Taylor is in punt formation. Find the spot he wants, wait for the snap. Like I said, the gas back for Cashion. There's the snap off to his right, but he'll get it. He'll get a punt off, not bad, up in the air. The gas will just let this one go, and it'll take a Cashion bounce, and which will cause Ringling to touch it way quicker than they wanted to.
Yep.
And it'll leave Cashion a little more time here. And you never know, guys, with the guys, the boys we're throwing it up to on the edges, there could be a play made here, or maybe Shackelford's got something tricky up his sleeve. But
well, they're going to be backed off. They're not going to win anything over the top. Let's do some, 10-yard outs or 10-yard comeback, which the boys are so good at, those timing routes. Let's get a couple of big 10-yard gains here, and then you're, at the 30-yard line where you could throw a jump ball up to land Lagasse in the end zone.
I think you might see Bubble here to Manning as Nabavi's out here right with him. You might see Bubble, see if Manning can break some tackles and make a big play, but we'll see. Way back there, and now their linebacker Braden Johnson, he moves back as well, number 17. Haven't called his name much. Cashion done a good job keeping him out of the mix, but they'll back up, and there's that Bubble. I thought that was coming to Manning. We'll see if he can break some tackles, get out of bounds. He does. So good gain there for Cashion. Smart. They take
Smart
the numbers,
play.
They take the 10, and if we can do that, you got time to do that 2 more times, guys, and get this thing, like you said, Chris, maybe down the 40, 35-yard line. Throw it up.
Yeah, you keep the guys off that line of scrimmage that far. That's just too easy for the and Shaq's going to take what you're going to give him. If you're going to give him those 10 yards with 20 seconds left, he's going to take it. That way you get it close enough to have Ben have a chance to throw it up in the end zone.
So 1st and 10, Cashion just flips the formation. Manning goes to the other side, but now Ben will drop back here and he'll look to run. He'll try to get wide.
He's going to have to get out of bounds.
He ain't going to get out of bounds. He does. He breaks a tackle, and he
does get out of bounds.
What a play by Ben Harmon. Great play by Ben as he avoids probably 2 or 3 sure tacklers and dives and gets the ball out of bounds. We got the replay up here on the big screen, but a great play by Ben to save another one as we're down to 9 seconds.
Still want to see him. I just wish he would have stepped back if it wasn't there, throw it out of bounds or throw it close to a receiver into the ground or something. Stop that clock. Ran a full 11 seconds off where that play before only took 6 seconds and we got 10 yards.
So down to 12 on the play clock. Cashion will go empty here, so got a lot of cushion over here on the right side. Empty. He'll throw it down the middle got to get down. If you're Manning, you got to get down, and he does. That'll stop the clock. You got to get this thing stopped.
Clock it.
3 seconds. You got time to clock it. First down. He hadn't wound the clock yet. Cashion gets lined up. White Hat still hadn't wound them. There it goes. Got to get it up. Got to go, Ben. Got to go, Ben.
Oh, he's just going to throw it up right here.
That's way too far out there. I thought Ben just might spike that, and I think that's what Coach Shackelford wanted, but that'll take us to half. And
14-14
good one so far, guys. I mean, we got what we wanted. We're getting our money's worth. This has been a game of plays, both on offense and defense, and here we go.
14-14 with some drama in the first half, for sure.
So you want to take it to break, Chris, and then we'll come back and kind of talk about this and get ready for the second half. You're listening to Cashion Wildcat TV. I'm Chad Tischer, Chris Gibson, Drew Baker. We're glad to be here, and we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and get ready for an exciting second half of football.
Shape Up Fitness is locally owned and operated with no contracts or sign-up fees. Our rates start at only $30 per month, and we have tanning available. Everything you need to work on your health and fitness. So contact Amber Lee to sign up today. 405-538-8248. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Cashion Shape Up Fitness.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your gray.
This is Grain and Grange Market, the coolest little boutique you've never heard of. Come see us.
Wiggins, Sewell, and Ogletree is dedicated to championing our clients through complicated and challenging litigations. We pride ourselves on a proven track record of success brought forth by fierce litigation skills. The lawyers and staff of our firm are dedicated to effective and personalized representation for every client who entrusts our service. Uncompromising integrity, unparalleled results. Call Wiggins, Sewell, and Ogletree, 405-232-1211. Absolute Pools, Lawns, and Landscape is not your ordinary pool builder. From traditional to exotic and anything in between, our staff offers paramount quality and service through the entire design and build process. We provide service to the entire OKC metro and surrounding towns. So relax, knowing our team is wholeheartedly committed to building a trusting and lasting relationship with you. Visit us on Facebook or give us a call today at 405-285-9729. Absolute Pools, Lawns, and Landscape.
Storm season is coming, people, and your first choice for roofing needs should be Rhino Roofing. Locally owned and operated, the Rhino specializes in all types of repair and replacement. Large scale, traditional, modern, unique roof lines, they can do it all. Protect your home and your family with the specialized services of Rhino Roofing. Visit our Facebook page today and make an appointment. Rhino Roofing is all the hype for any roof type.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For 31 years and counting, Community State Bank has taken great pride in being your hometown bank. With branches located in Cashion, Dover, and Hennessy, CSB strives to reflect the small-town hospitality these communities are known for. Our friendly staff is here to serve you and provide one of the best banking experiences around, equipping our customers with the latest in banking technology combined with a personal, down-home relationship. Come into one of our local branches or visit us at www.mycsb.com. Community State Bank, small-town banking, the way it should be. Member FDIC. Christy Perry is a Cashion-based attorney providing clients in Oklahoma with trusted, experienced legal counsel regarding wills and trusts, bankruptcy, and other areas of law. Flexible scheduling is available to discuss your options, and your first consultation is free. If you need assistance regarding a legal matter, call your local Oklahoma licensed attorney, Christy Perry, at 918-373-0882.
Our world is changing, but one thing is the same. We're here for you. In these uncertain times, take comfort in knowing that modern women of America is built for this. We are built to handle uncertainties, and we've weathered many in the past 137 years, including world wars, disease outbreaks, depressions, and recessions. You may have concerns about your financial plan, but you can also have peace of mind. You got this, because you have us.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Woody, and I want to help you or a loved one navigate your way through understanding Medicare. It's hard getting questions answered when you don't know who to call or trust. I am local and appointed with all the insurance carriers in Oklahoma. You can trust me to help you apply for Medicare, make the right decisions based on your current financial and healthcare needs, and feel confident about your future. Act quickly. Annual enrollment period is October 15th to December 7th. Call Stephanie Woody, that's me, at 405-830-4966 to set up an appointment.
Kyle and Gina Van Druff have the answers to all your real estate and insurance needs. These guys will have you covered in a one-stop shopping experience. They are local agents, local supporters, and active in the Cashion community. They are also proud parents of past and present Cashion students. Kyle and Gina help their clients make the right choice. Don't wait till it's too late. Call 405-607-4300. Go Wildcats and number 88. Let's have a great year.
Walk it up. Get you some.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Founded by Jesse and Amy McCracken, Rural Pest Solutions is a Cashion-based, family-owned and operated company. Our focus is on providing the highest level of customer service while effectively treating many common invaders, including spiders, ants, roaches, mice, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, and termites. Flexible scheduling and superior customer service are our top priority. Call us today to schedule your appointment. 405-283-6565.
Cashion FBC is a church seeking to grow in Christ and our love for the body of Christ. With ministries from children to youth to adults, we strive to present the gospel in an engaging and meaningful way. Sunday school meets at 9:45 a.m. and worship starts at 11 a.m. Children and youth meet on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Please check our website at cashionfbc.org for more information, and we hope to see you this Sunday, located a half-mile east of Cashion.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
Okay, hey, we're back here at halftime, Richardson Stadium, excuse me. Beautiful place here and just a great game, great weather, great atmosphere. Ringling Band on the field right now performing at halftime. We're tied at 14. Drama field first half. We got some stats in front of us. I'm just going to kind of run down and break through some of these, and I'll let Chris and Drew kind of get their insight on them. But first down so far are equal. Cashion and Ringling both with 9 rushing yards. Cashion only with 18 on 14 attempts. A few sacks in there that kind of make a little difference there. But Ringling obviously leaning on their run, 24 rushes for 139 yards. And then we have the complete opposite in the passing game with Cashion with 141 yards on 7 completions, and Ringling with 9 yards on just 1 completion. So total offense, everything really, you guys, is pretty similar. 148 yards total for Ringling, 159 for Cashion. And the one big play that sticks out on this stat sheet is the one fumble return for 50 yards for Cashion. Other than that, everything else is really even.
Yeah, I was just looking at the stats here. You know, I thought kind of after that first time that Cashion moved the ball down there and you know, had those big plays, that first drive, had the big play the first drive, gets down there, stalls out, didn't get anything. And then Ringling stalls out, punts the ball, then almost kind of like what the Pawhuska game was, right?
Right.
Both teams had some stops, and then, you know, we get the ball back, have a big plays all the way down to the end zone, kind of did what we wanted, took advantage of those one-on-ones and made the plays that Coach Coons was daring Cashion to make, the way that they were lined up on defense. And then from there on out, the Cashion offense was kind of, you know, stifled. And I thought, you know, before we got the stats, I was thinking they're going to have outgained us. But you look at the stats, both teams have run – Ringling has run 28 plays. Cashion has run 29 plays. Ringling has 148 yards. Cashion has 159 yards. So both offenses are, you know, moving the ball. It's just who kind of has those drives that finishes in the end zone, and Ringling has had 2. Cashion's had 1, and the only, like you said, the big play on defense where the ball winds up in Max Brown's hands heading towards the end zone is the play of the game so far, the Cashion Wildcats, to keep them in this and be tied going into halftime.
Yeah, Drew, too, I think, you know, kind of the, you know, they're you know, to balance out that big play we had defensively, Drew, with Max Brown taking that fumble into the end zone or touchdown, I think the special teams play and the return by number 21, that's Canyon McGahee, that big return he had also is kind of counterbalanced that big defensive play we had.
Which, I mean, just looking at it from just watching the whole game, looking at the score and everything else, other than, I mean, we had the play that was reversed, called back, we ended up making a touchdown on it. We had Max Brown getting that ball, scoring a touchdown. Other than that, offensively, we haven't really done anything to score with, you know. Everything that we've scored on has been, you know, a great turnover here that brought us back to inside their territory, and then Max getting that ball. So, I mean, I'm just kind of waiting for the play adjustments at halftime to come back so that we have offense that can go out and make plays for us instead of just having those chance things happen that get us down the field.
Right. So what are you guys thinking? You know, first Chris with you, like what are you thinking adjustment wise for Cashion here as they come out offensively for Cashion? What are you thinking adjustment wise here for Coach Schaufelberg?
Offensively, just looking out there from up here, you can see the field really well until they really started dropping back into that coverage. That middle of the field is wide open. I don't know if Shaq just is waiting to use that in the second half, or if he doesn't think Ben can see that over the middle. I don't know what it is, but we sure saw it well over the middle against Pawhuska late in that game to get Mason Manning the ball. If they keep doing what they're doing, if they keep kind of coming up and pressing us and trying to stop that run, that middle of the field is wide open. Yeah, I like taking shots down the sideline, but you got to use the entire field so they aren't able to just kind of focus on one area. I talked about last week in Pawhuska, if we can just stop the big play, I think we win the game, you know, and we did.
Yeah.
And we wound up being able to stop those big plays. That's kind of what Ringling's feeling like right now. Stop the big plays. They can't move the ball on us. And we got to figure out a way, if it's softening up that defense by running the ball some.
Yeah.
Or just going over the middle, finding those open spots and being really calming down. I want to see him calm down this second half. Last year in this game, this championship game, he was easy breezy, cool, made great passes, had one big pass over the middle to Brexton for a touchdown, had some big runs. Seems a lot more calm tonight. Some of those passes, even that touchdown and even some of those big throws, he's floating them up there a little bit more than what I would like to see. Yeah. Step into a throw, be confident. You're a senior. Be that leader. Come win the ball game for the Cashion Wildcats.
Yeah, and I think offensively, too, just before we go to Drew in the defense, you know, that deep slant that we, you know, inevitably really won the game on last week with Mason Manning, it's kind of been there as well over the middle because they're backing up so far on that inside guy. I think, you know, like you said, that middle of the field's open, and you can use that middle in a lot of different ways. Yep. We saw one time when they kind of went too deep zone, Mason kind of found a gap, Ben rolled out and found him, you know, for that first down conversion. But, yeah, I think you're right there on the middle of the field and you know, just kind of making Ringling cover all of it, not just the deep fade down the sideline.
The edges, yep.
Drew, what do you think defensively for Cashion? You know, obviously, you know, a stat sheet tells it all. Cashion's got to make some adjustments on the run game.
Yeah, I think defensively, I think aggression needs to be turned up a little bit. I think Ben needs to calm down a little bit more. You know, play like he's been here before because he has. I think Landon and some of our receivers need to be a little more aggressive defensively. I think tackling's got to get a lot better. We're doing a lot of grabbing, like we've talked about, jersey grabbing, tackling on that pie. That's got to be more consistent because a lot of times, you know, we'll get bodies on them, but then they still go for 5 or 6 more yards. So defensively, I think it's just got to be more aggressive. The adjustment that we made kind of towards the end of the first quarter defensively started working really well, but it's just a matter of getting there faster. When we've got there fast, like when Mason's broke through the line or Joey or Jackson, it's kind of disrupted their whole play. So I think if the more aggressive we get on defense, we're probably going to be pretty okay.
We were talking about too before we came back on the air. It's like there hasn't been a lot of first contact tackles or one-on-one solo tackles for Cashion yet. And give credit to Ringling. They run the ball hard. They're physical. That's the way they play. But Cashion's going to have to address that, obviously, coming into the second half. So we're about 4 minutes away. Actually, sorry, we're about 7 minutes away because we got a 3-minute warm-up time after these guys come back on the field. But we're getting close here, and we're, like I said, tied up. You know, guys, we talk about it, and you know, every time I think I come on here, I probably shouldn't, but I compare, you know, this to basketball. But, you know, something we always have preached in the basketball locker room at halftime is first 3 minutes. You know, first 3 minutes we come out, that's going to set the tone. You know, that's what's going to get us through this half, and we're going to make our adjustments. We're going to apply them, and in the first 3 minutes, it's going to set the tone for the half. Man, it just seems like in this game, whoever gets the next score is really going to have a leg up.
An edge.
They really are.
No doubt. And I think I say it a lot of times in any close game we've ever been in. Like you said, just to echo that first drive out of the locker room is going to set the tone for the rest of the game. And a lot of times, you know, Parcells, I think, says it. You know, if you win that first drive coming out, that's the biggest drive of the game every single game. And if you can win that drive, you have a really good shot of winning the ball game. And that's going to be, you know, the tone setter. Come out here, get a stop, get the ball back in the hands of Ben, let him settle down and really start making some plays, and then that's going to be the difference in the game.
And not just get a stop quickly. I mean, we don't want it to turn into a 6-minute drive for Ringling down the field where we end up stopping. You got to address that quickly and be aggressive and get that stop early on in this first part of the half.
And not just like you said, Drew, not just get a stop. But let's get some momentum built. You know, let's have a momentum possession here for our defense right out of the gate to start this third quarter and kind of get this thing going downhill a little bit. So you guys want to take a break? We'll take another break here. We'll throw some commercials at you guys, and big thank you before we get to those to all our sponsors.
And we tried to get Lane in here for Lessons Lane, but he said if I came in here, I'd throw up.
I think Lane's a little too nervous. So the lesson from Lane this week is we're not talking to Lane the state finals ever because it's just too many nerves. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, as we're going to go to break, we haven't addressed it yet, but we'll continue to address it as we go through here and as we end this thing up today. But man, just so thankful for all the sponsors that help the Cashion Wildcat TV go and not just go but grow. It just every year it gets better and better. And it just seems to be one of those flagship deals for Squirtle, and the way you guys, Chris and Nima and Drew, have built this thing and have put so much effort, energy, and pride into it. You know, it's so awesome, but we know that you guys don't really have that opportunity without the sponsors behind it and everything that they give to this process. So thanks for all them. Thanks to all of them. We'll go to break and we'll see some of those commercials, and when we come back, we'll bring you the second half of the state championship game.
Legacy Insurance and Financial Services is proud to be on Main Street in Cashion, Oklahoma, supporting our Wildcats while riding business throughout Oklahoma and surrounding states. Legacy agents who share over 40 years of experience will shop many carriers to fulfill all of your insurance and investment needs. We welcome face-to-face meetings, but if your needs require an online virtual relationship, we are versed at those too. Let the team of Chris Gibson, Chris Cochran, Aaron Phoenix, and Christina Branson at Legacy Insurance and Financial Services help you build your own legacy, one you will be proud to live and to leave.
Team up with Pioneer iVideo and start streaming the most popular TV shows and movies from your favorite devices today. Download the iVideo app and start watching anywhere in your home using Pioneer Internet. Each package includes free high-definition and cloud DVR features like video on demand, Restart TV, and Replay TV, just in case you forget to record a program. Visit gopioneer.com for more details and compatible devices. Some restrictions apply.
At Water Heater Man, we specialize in repairing and replacing all water heaters. We service the OKC Metro and surrounding towns with fast, reliable service. We keep our vans fully stocked with essential parts needed for basic repairs, and new tanks are always on the vans ready to go. We offer free estimates on all jobs with financing options available. We match manufacturer's warranty for all newly replaced water heaters. We'll get your water heater back up and running as fast as possible so you don't have to put your life on hold waiting for service. Give us a call today, 405-844-TANK. That's 405-844-8265. Go Wildcats! Cashion Shape Up Fitness is locally owned and operated with no contracts or sign-up fees. Our rates start at only $30 per month, and we have tanning available. Everything you need to work on your health and fitness. So contact Amber Lee to sign up today, 405-538-8248. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Cashion Shape Up Fitness.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out cause you kept cutting your cord, and I started to fade into your grave.
This is Grain and Grange Market, the coolest little boutique you've never heard of. Come see us.
Wiggins, Sewell, and Ogletree is dedicated to championing our clients through complicated and challenging litigations. We pride ourselves on a proven track record of success brought forth by fierce litigation skills. The lawyers and staff of our firm are dedicated to effective and personalized representation for every client who entrusts our service. Uncompromising integrity, unparalleled results. Call Wiggins, Sewell, and Ogletree, 405-232-1211. Absolute Pools, Lawns, and Landscape is not your ordinary pool builder. From traditional to exotic and anything in between, our staff offers paramount quality and service through the entire design and build process. We provide service to the entire OKC Metro and surrounding towns. So relax, knowing our team is wholeheartedly committed to building a trusting and lasting relationship with you. Visit us on Facebook or give us a call today at 405-285-9729. Absolute Pools, Lawns, and Landscape.
Okay, we're back here at Chad Richardson Stadium as the halftime clock is winding down. Officials are ready to get this thing set, get the ball kicked off as Cashion will be kicking off to Ringling to start the third quarter. A great breakdown there by both Chris and Drew as we talked stats, talked adjustments. We'll see how those develop or don't over the second half of this game, but nonetheless, I think we're set for a wild one, guys. This is good times.
Hey, this is championship football,
Yeah,
right?
fun
I mean,
time.
it's 14-14 going, or 0-0 might as well be, right?
Yeah.
Going into the second half, you have 2 quarters to go win you a state championship football game. Both these coaches are probably some of the best motivators, some of the best coaches definitely the two best coaches probably over the past 5 years in Class A football. And I wish I could have been a fly on the wall in either one of these locker rooms to hear that pep talk and those adjustments, because that's what's going to get you through to a state championship trophy, is the adjustments and just who's going to bring it in this second half and say, I want it more than you want it, and we're going to go get this gold ball and take it back to our hometown.
Yep. So here we go. Bryson Hogan will kick off as he sets it just right inside the near hash. They've been kicking it over right down that hash really consistently the whole game. And number 21, Kenyon McGahee, the best returner for the Blue Devils, is standing there ready for it. Cashion's got some sure tacklers over here on this near side, so I'm confident in the Wildcats and they can wrangle him up. But here we go, third quarter underway as Hogan gets it off. It's a wobbler. It'll hit and it'll trickle out of bounds, so McGahee will not get a chance this time. And the Ringling Blue Devils will start at the 35-yard line.
Hey, I was watching some Texas high school football last night. You know, if it goes out of bounds for them, they get the ball at the 30.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I didn't know that.
Better
I was watching
deal,
that happen, and I was like,
kickers.
man, I might kick it out of bounds every time, man. But right there, you know, you said it didn't give McGahee a chance to really return it this time. I think I was looking on here to see if there was showed where the, starting.
Oh, average field position.
Average field position.
I don't think it was on there,
but I mean, I think Cashion has.
It's been pretty even. Both of them have kind of been around that anywhere from the 25 to 35 yard markers every time.
So here we go, and Ringling will huddle up here on this first play of the first drive of the third quarter, and they'll stay in that tight, heavy eye. Looks like it's number 8 this time, Colton Fincher back there. Number 1, quarterback Carson Daniel.
They're going to run at that left side.
They go. Well, the quarterback sneak it right up the middle with the quarterback. They're playing really old school football here.
Well, I mean,
short gain, but
you watched that Morrison game.
Yeah,
I mean,
they went for 10 a few times.
Yeah, I mean, they did that quarterback sneak, got 5, 6, 7 yards. Yeah, from 10 a couple times. I mean, they're going to say, stop us on the run game. If you can stop us on the run game, you're going to have a shot. If you can't stop us in the run game, we're going to drive the ball down your throat and win the ball game.
So a 3-yard quarterback sneak will bring up second down and 7. Fincher still dot in the eye. Daniel getting everybody set. He'll take the snap under center. And he will pitch it right side. Cashion with a little penetration there. Can't make the first tackle. And Fincher will have a pretty good gain as Mason Manning. I agree. Mason thought he got held on that edge. And boy, it sure looked like he got turned there, Chris, as Fincher made the run around the right edge.
I think they're going to have to just tackle him for it to not be, and maybe even worse than that. I don't know. I mean, watching some of the replays from that Pawhuska game and what they were doing to Landon Lagasse, or not Landon, Jackson Vander coming off the edge, they're going to let them play, and that right there is proof.
You can't argue with. I mean, they're letting them play both ways.
Yeah, both. I mean, they're consistent with what they're doing.
Guys are going to play through it as they'll hand this one left side. Cashion there as Cotter made some penetration early, and then cleaning it up is number 7, Gavin Phippen, as he feels from the secondary, and we'll have no gain. I thought we might have a tackle for loss, but that'll be no gain and bring up a second down and 10. So, Drew, more physical right there, I thought.
Yeah.
Hey, we haven't seen Cotter in on that defensive line until now, and you know who I think he kind of came in there to spell Joey maybe, but maybe they're thinking just that quickness a little bit on that edge and length and spelling Joey a little bit. But, man, he did a great job coming up there and turning that back in.
Another quarterback sneak, 2nd and 10, and they quarterback sneak, and Cashion's there for it. And we're going to have a 3rd and long here for the Blue Devils. That's twice now, guys. They've tried to catch Cashion off guard on that quarterback sneak as he gets under center real quick. He's gone.
This is the kind
Cashion there both times is, maybe a yard and a half, 2 yards.
This is the kind of defense they needed to be playing in the first half of the game. I mean, just everybody right there at the line of scrimmage be extremely aggressive, have some speed, have some momentum about you when you go meet somebody at the line of scrimmage there.
I think that's an adjustment they made,
Absolutely.
And you see, give credit to Chase Ritter and the boys right there in the middle to not let that quarterback sneak really surprise them.
3rd down, 8, big play here. First possession for the defense, trying to get a little momentum for the Wildcats. And a little option game off to the right. He'll pitch it out wide, trying to get to the edge, stiff arm, and he will get it as he got a stiff arm. Phippen was there trying to make the play, but nice stiff arm there by Caden Barron, and that's the first time we've seen that option game as they go out to that right side and just just enough for the first down and to keep this drive moving for the Blue Devils.
I mean, that's 2 times in this drive that we've had somebody there to come, make that tackle without letting them get that first down, and we've been stiff-armed. I mean, just coming up high, they're pushing your head back and just going and getting those 4 or 5 extra yards. Come in hard, go towards the legs, and get them down. Sure tackles.
First down and 10 now. They stay in that same formation, though. A little counter to the left side. Not much there. Cashion defensive line doing a good job right now of just limiting everything right up the middle. Not a lot of success yet for Ringling in the second half in the trenches, as that's just a 1-yard gain, and they're in second long again.
Yeah, my keys to the game were 3rd and 4th down conversions, and right now we are not getting off the field on 3rd and 4th down.
Right.
When you get 9, 10 yards, 11 yards on 3rd down, when we had them backed up to 3rd and 9, you can't have that happen if you want to win a championship football game.
Yep, 2nd and 9, second long. Cashion trying to force another 3rd and long here. Daniel under center, and he'll just hand it left side. Nice job by Manning with some penetration. There's a hold. We finally got the flag. And 2 flags come down on that hold, as they'll blow that play dead as forward progress was stopped by number 8, Colton Fincher, and this should back up the Blue Devils into a really tricky situation, as they're going to be at least 2nd and 19 here after the penalty.
Yeah, 2nd and 19. If you are back on the other side of the football field, would you maybe, not want that penalty and put them in 3rd and long, right there?
Yeah.
But being that we're on this side of the football field, let's back them up, put them in that really long 2nd and 19, like you said, and then almost make them have to throw the ball. But here's what I'm doing, though. If I'm the Cashion Wildcat defense, I'm still pinning my ears back, and I'm saying, boys, in the secondary, it's time to shine. Go. They're going to have to throw the ball. We know it. Go make plays in the secondary, knock the ball down or intercept it.
So we'll see here. It's going to kind of change things a lot here for Ringling, as they're going to face 2nd and 19.
I mean, if you're the defense, you know what's kind of coming.
Yep.
And let's see, they will. So they'll split 1 left and 1 right. McGahee out here right, Gavin Pittman covering him. And Daniel will go back into the shotgun.
I got a little help over the top from McGahee.
Yeah, a little too deep there from Cashion as Daniel. He's going to wing one up left side. Double coverage there. Lagasse is there. Almost has the interception. And it pops out of his hands. I think maybe the receiver there for Ringling got his hands on it just enough to knock it out of Lagasse's hands. But, once again, you're forcing Ringling's hand, and that's a tough play to make against a Cashion secondary that's sitting there licking their chops waiting on that pass.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin did a good job of keeping that bump coverage, and the kid got by him. There was a window there, but Landon Lagasse did a great job getting over the top, knocking that ball down, going up. And like I said, you got to go make those plays. Yep. And right there, Landon did a good job of knocking that down. Want to see the interception, but knock it down, put them in a long 3rd and long.
Pretty much same alignment here, 3rd and 19, and he'll drop back again. This is going to be a screenplay. Cashion seems to have this sniffed out. Vandriff's there. He's getting held. No call. They do call it finally. But, yeah, Vandriff getting held by big number 70. That's Jackson Perry, as Vandriff had sniffed that screen out pretty early. And I'm sure this penalty will get declined.
Yeah, this time
you do only about a 2-yard gain anyway.
Yep. You do decline it, put them in a 4th and long, right there about the 40. It's going to be about the 40.
They're going to mark it about the 46-yard line. So,
yeah,
you're going to look at 3rd or 4th and 15, and that will be declined. Great job there by Cashion.
This is what we needed coming out of that halftime. We needed a defensive stop. Other than that play that went for about 10 right there, this is the perfect kind of defense that they've been playing here in the beginning of the 3rd.
Ringling going to punt here. That's number 55, Scotty Taylor, in the punt formation. Cashion got to be careful here. Don't go for anything crazy, no fakes. And Ringling obviously trying to pin Cashion deep here, as their defense has had a lot of success lately.
Caleb Durham is deep for Cashion to receive the punt.
There's the snap. Punts up, and it'll go straight up. That's going to hit
bounce
about
back.
The 17. It looks like it had a pretty good bounce there for Ringling. May have rolled a little further, but number 8, Colton Fincher, decided that was far enough, and Cashion will take over 1st down and 10 on their own 17-yard line. So good job. We got to stop, right? Got to stop. Good job by the D, and let's get some O going here.
First drive, just looking down there, just saw Coach Wood pump that fist, say, here we go. That's what we worked for right there in that that halftime locker room, making those adjustments. Now it's this drive right here. It's make or break. Let's go do something and get in the end zone here and just set the tone for this second half and how it's going to go.
I think just the 2 hold calls themselves tells you Cashion's being more aggressive defensively.
Yeah.
Getting those hold calls. We got stacked twins over here to the left. Now Burke will come over and make it trips. Singled up by himself, Lagasse on the right, and we'll hand it to Nick right down the middle,
Wow.
and he is hit hard, and that's their man.
Yep.
Number 17, Braden Johnson. We haven't called his name, I don't think, the whole game on a tackle or assist or anything.
Yeah,
he's right there, and man, he filled that hole, and that's the definition of a solo tackle, boys. No gain.
Yeah, and there was room, and Nick is really good at making kids miss and sneaking up and at least getting back to the line of scrimmage. He was met at the line of scrimmage and dropped right there by number 17,
same
Johnson.
formation here, but Gilbert's in for Burke. Landon over there by himself, and they adjust the safety over there to land inside, and they'll go bubble over here to Manning, but that is not a good pass, and it's off the ground. And short. They had some numbers here and had a chance with Gilbert and Vandriff to, Mason was going to have to make a number 11 Barron miss, but if he made him miss, it was going to be a big one.
It's going to be a lot of yards there for Mason to work with there. And we see Landon Lagasse coming off the side. No, that's Jackson Vandriff. I thought it was Landon at first coming off, and I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Good job right there. Shaq, good play call, just not very good execution on there.
And so both tight ends will come off. We'll go trips right. Singled up left is Lagasse by himself. Bobby in the backfield. We'll go bubble right side. Now Manning, he's got a good block out there. Cuts it up, makes another good move, but a nice tackle there. I thought Manning had that, but number 21, McGahee, got to give him credit. He wrapped up a leg there. Now we're going to have an interesting decision right here. It's going to be 4th down and a long.
4th and a long one.
Yard and a half. It looks like Shockford's going to go for this.
Well, he may just line
he may
up.
just try to draw him off, but it's a long yard.
See what it looks like.
Here.
See what he's got. See what it looks like, and then maybe do that quick punt like we've seen. They don't have anybody back, which is a good thing. But we'll see what they do here.
I would smell a go for it here. We'll see. As Nababi will go to Harmon's right side. Harmon will take the snap, and they're going for it. Slanger right across the middle, a little comeback, and there's Manning. And there's that middle of the field we talked about. A lot of holes, a lot of space in there. Great job, great execution there as Manning sits down in a hole and give it up to Ben Harmon because he put it on a dime on time that time.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Ben's just got to settle down. Step into throws, and that time he stepped into it and delivered a strike to Mason Manning in that little soft area in that zone for a big first down.
Coach Shaq going gambler right there, and it pays off this time. Trips right, Lagasse by himself, and I think we got another one as we draw them off sides. We kind of lulled them to sleep. They were all over it on the 3rd and short, or the 4th and short, but then they lost their focus and jumped off sides on the hard count here on 1st and 10. So now let's see how aggressive Shaq gets on this 1st and 5. 6:23, clock running, 3rd quarter. We're tied up. We got a barn burner here in the state finals here in Edmond at UCO. Harmon with trips to his right. Nababi to his right. Got Vandriff left tight end, and we'll hand it off to Nababi, and that's blown up early. Cashion just not finding any success in the run game. Give credit that time to number 14, Cash Rose, and also number 55, Scotty Taylor. They blew that thing up early, and that we lost 3 of those 5 we gained on the penalty. We lost there, so actually 4. This will be a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, and they are they're that team that has got those guys up front they may not have the size, but they are smart. They've got the quickness, and that time just got past that front line that has been so successful all year long.
Yeah, no. Harmon drops back. He's going to go deep. Got Gilbert open on the right side, and Gilbert goes up, and he'll win that contest as he goes up and makes a big catch down the right sideline. He goes up with number 21, Canyon McGahee. And there's our man, Seth Gilbert. Big play for Cashion as he takes advantage of that jump ball and comes down with another big gainer for Ben Harmon and the Cashion Wildcats.
Yeah, Ben did a good job that time. He kind of made that deep guy pick his poison. He saw him kind of sneaking in and cheating over to the middle to the hash, and he laid it out there perfectly for Seth Gilbert to be able to go up and fight for that and bring it down for the big gain.
Cashion going empty here as Shackelford will keep the pressure on this Ringling defense. See if our guys up front give Ben a little time here, and Ben will attack down the field again. Jump ball up, and nice coverage there by 21. And that's McGahee, as he was all over that one again as they went back to Lagasse, I believe, that time, Chris. Down that same sideline on that, the near side there. And or excuse me, the far side there, and just good coverage that time.
Good coverage. He was there. Just he never got his head turned around. But in high school football, you can face guard all you want. He just went up high and was going to have to make Landon make a heck of a catch, and was able to knock that ball down. You want to see Ben really lead that ball out there a little bit more, maybe even to the middle a little bit, to where that guy has his back turned. Let Landon go get it.
Bobby behind Harmon. Twins left, singled up right. And Ben will drop back again. Looks fade, and now he'll throw it up again. Got a step. Lagasse is there. He goes up.
Oh, that's
that ball's underthrown. It may be intercepted, and I think McGahee did come down with it.
But they were both out of bounds.
And it's a touchback. They are calling that inbounds as the ball caromed off of Lagasse, and number 21, Canyon McGahee, comes up with it in the end zone for a touchback. So tough break there. That's a 50-50 jump ball, man. That one just doesn't go our way.
Well, and right there, what I see from my angle was the ball goes up, Landon goes up for it, so does McGahee. Both of them fight for the ball. McGahee gets the ball, comes down on Landon while Landon's out of bounds. That should be out of bounds, but they have a lot better eyes than I do, or a lot closer. Maybe not better eyes, they're just a lot closer than what I am. And they did call it him coming down with possession in the end zone. Turnover, interception, and that's now interceptions are equal. And back on that defensive mindset, and Coach Wood down there coaching them up. Let's see if we can get that big stop.
See if Cashion can pin them deep here, force another punt. They'll start shotgun here, kind of get out of their big heavy possession as Daniel's in the shotgun. He'll take that snap, he'll hand it off. Going right, nice cutback there. A little cutback lane available, and Cashion will hold on, and that's number 8, Colton Fincher, and he'll have about an 8-yard gain as he took that defense as far as he could out to the right, saw the cutback lane, hit it, and got an 8-yard gain.
And that's something he's been doing all game, has been being patient, seeing those cutback lanes and cutting it back up and turning something that looks like it'll be for a loss into something that gets about 4 or 5 every time.
Yeah, three Cashion Wildcats had him kind of hemmed up on that sideline, and then he just did a good job of putting his foot in the ground and turning it upfield.
Second down and 2, still the shotgun. They'll hand it off going left, and thought Manning may have got held. They didn't call it this time, but Fippen is there to clean it up. But that's going to be about a 10-yard gain as they run a little jet-type sweep over to the field side to number 10, Rance Wilson. Like I said, Gavin Fippen there to finally clean it up and run it out of bounds. And the Blue Devils are all the way up now to their own 39-yard line, first down and 10.
Yeah, they saw what we've brought up front, have those big boys up front. And they decided, let's go to the edges, and they've had some success these last 2 runs. And man, right there, Mason Manning is out there, and we saw him in the Tonkawa game. Did such a good job of running that guy to the sideline. He just can't get off that blocker, and see if he can't do that going forward in this game.
Daniel keeps it. He'll fake it to Fincher, and then he'll go right up the left side off tackle. Haven't seen that yet, as little new wrinkle there is Carson Daniels keeps it himself, and he'll scramble for about 7 yards. So Ringling getting that offensive momentum going, and getting those 4, 5, 6, 7-yard runs back to back here. Cashion going to have to find a way to slow that down.
Yeah, we talked about it in that first drive where we were keeping them second and 9, third and 9. Now when you have this second and short, that just leaves that playbook open, and they're really good at being able to. Really, all they're doing is running, but it's still that option keeps the defense kind of guessing.
Second down and 3. They'll hand this one going right. That's number 11, I believe, this time. And that's Caden Barron, and he'll have about 5 yards, and that'll move the sticks again. And Cashion really just needs to find a way, Drew, to get this, on first down to limit that run and get these guys in second and long.
Yeah, that first possession that we had on defense was great. Forced them into that second and long position, and then we ended up, that 50-50 come down with it. We didn't come back with it. So now we got to really dig our heels in again and figure out a way to get them in a second and long position.
3 minutes left, and as opposed to the first quarter, this third quarter is going quick because time is burning. And now they'll hand it off left side, and more space again as that interior for the Blue Devils is creating holes at the point of attack. And Cashion's, relying on our second, third level guys to make that first contact. We're going to have to make some hay up front here and slow this thing down, as that's another 7-yard gain for the Blue Devils on first down.
Yeah, and they're just blowing us off the line of scrimmage and getting those guys into our linebackers where they can't come down and fill holes. and that's what you're seeing. You're not seeing anybody fill that hole until that second level.
And Daniel back under center, and he'll fake to the handoff, go counter right side.
God, quit getting
and there
coming
goes
up high.
Brown trying to make a tackle, and he'll eventually end up just pushing it out of bounds. Number 8, Colton Venture. A little counter action again, and Cashion gets caught on the edge, and relying on our corners to come up and make plays against a physical running back. Just give credit to Ringling. They're doing a good job at the point of attack right now.
Yeah, Max Brown comes up there again. I mean, that's the third or fourth time he's come up, done a good job of coming up, but he's got to do a better job of coming in, getting into those legs and getting him down. I know he's doing all he can to get him out of bounds, but those are plays that are going to have to be made to stop this Ringling run attack.
And they'll fake it now. They'll go reverse this time.
It's a hold.
McGahee, and that's a great open field tackle. And that's your boy Max Brown taking a little coaching from Chris Gibson over here as he goes low early, wraps up, and then he shuts down that play. And Ringling goes away from what's their bread and butter. They go away from it. They try something tricky, and now they're back where they don't want to be, second and long.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's the thing. Like these drives, we talk about long, methodical drives. It's not only good to take the clock all the way, burn the clock. But it's just gut-wrenching for a defense and a team when you see somebody do this to you. And right there, you said they kind of outguessed themselves and getting this second long.
Daniel in shotgun, hands right side. Great penetration by up front for the Wildcats that time. Great job there. Cotter involved. He's been active. Burke, Big Ritter, Chase Ritter in there, and no gain. And now we're third and long as we approach the minute mark of the third quarter. And big possession here if Cashion can keep them in fourth and long.
Not only are they eating the clock up and then making slow progress on the field, but it's also a battle for those guys up front just getting hit time after time after time again, going
Daniel
all the way down the field.
He'll look over to Coombs on the sideline. Under a minute now. 3rd and 9 for the Blue Devils. Cashion needs to get a stop here. Shotgun snap, and they'll just hand it off left side. Manning's out there, and he'll get a piece of the jersey this time. And number 8, Fincher, he's not getting away. It's big 16 Mason Manning, Chris. He set the edge that time, and he was not giving it up, and that's a tackle for loss. And we'll be seeing a 4th and 11 now for Ringling, and they'll have to run one more play here in this third quarter.
Yeah, and that's the play I was talking about that he was making in that Tonka game.
Yep.
And the difference in that play and the plays earlier, there was a guy on him driving him enough to let that kid get around the edge. That time Mason Manning got up the field and did not let him sneak around that edge and got a hold of him, brought him down for the big loss.
So they'll go single split each side in the shotgun. Daniel drops back, across the middle, that's tip, and nice play as Nababi makes the tip, and then Manning comes in and makes sure big number 17 didn't make the catch off the carom as Mason Manning laid the wood that time to big old Braden Johnson.
Braden Johnson is a big dude, and he is used to bringing the wood, and that time it got brought to him, and it was one of those where it was just off of him, and then Mason came up and just made sure that it was not going to get caught. And that's the physicality that you're going to have to see in this game going forward to say, hey, we're going to hit you too.
Right.
Now we're going to get the ball back and let's go score. Let's go.
This is a crucial possession for the Cashion offense. They have got to make something happen here in order to maintain a comfortable control
we're going to get one
of the
play
game.
here, 1 second left in the third quarter. So Cashion will run one play here to end the third quarter. Harmon, he'll take one step back. They're going fade again. This time to Manning. He'll try to adjust and make the play, but great coverage there. As number 5 for the Blue Devils, Chase Taylor, he maintained great position right there. And all Mason can do is play a little bit of defense. So that'll end the third quarter. Both teams get down the field into the other team's territory. Neither team can convert. And so here we are. We're still where we were at halftime, tied at 14. We'll take a break here as we end this third quarter of play, and we'll come back for what promises to be a pretty exciting fourth quarter in this 2021 Class A state final at Chad Richardson Stadium.
Storm season is coming, people, and your first choice for roofing needs should be Rhino Roofing. Locally owned and operated, the Rhino specializes in all types of repair and replacement. Large scale, traditional, modern, unique roof lines, they can do it all. Protect your home and your family with the specialized services of Rhino Roofing. Visit our Facebook page today and make an appointment. Rhino Roofing is all the hype for any roof type.
All right, we're back here, fourth quarter coming at you. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. If you couldn't make it up here to UCO and watch this state final game, and hopefully we're giving you enough of a picture here where you can make out what's happening in what has turned out to be a really entertaining, even, hard-fought contest through 3 quarters. So we're going to get a Cashion possession here to start the 4th quarter. They're 2nd down and 10. They're starting from their own 31-yard line. Harmon will have Nabavi in the backfield. He'll have Manning split to his right, and he'll have Lagasse split to his left. Both tight ends in the game. Cashion trying to establish something on the ground. They'll go option game to the right. Harmon tried to make a move, and he'll get out of bounds. He'll get about 4 or 5 on that. Pretty good job there by the Blue Devils stringing that out, but nonetheless, they'll give him about 3 yards on the play. So here we go, 3rd and long again. Cashion been in 3rd and long most of the game, Chris.
Yeah, 3rd and long, and then we even had that 4th down play on our side of the football field that we went for and was able to convert. We talked about it for them as we're on the defense. We want to get off the field on 3rd down. We've been able to kind of convert on some of those 3rd downs in the second half. See if we can do it here again.
Oh, they might have got him again as he jumped off. They said he didn't get in the neutral zone. Boy, it sure looked like he was in the neutral zone. We don't have a straight-on view, so but it did look like they got across. It didn't get the call, so Cashion, Harmon will back up. Got time. Goes right sideline up high, just a little too much as he misses Lagasse, who was open. A little, just a basic little out route, past the sticks, and he was there. And being just overthrew that when a little big guy away from him sailed on him, and Cashion's going to have to punt here on 4th and 7.
I think it's funny, Ben was out there saying, Coach, come on, let's go for it again. But being 4th and about 7, I think Coach is going to go ahead and take the safe route, punt this ball. But let's hope one of their halftime adjustments was let's not punt to 21, punt it down there out of bounds somewhere that they're not going to have a chance to get this big return.
Yeah, Lena does a better job holding on the ball a little longer that time, and the big bounce, and he's still going to try to pick this up. Risky play, but he picks it up. He'll pay the price heavily as he takes a few shots. Give it up to 21, Kenyon McGay. He's a tough kid. He tried to pick that up and take off, but he was surrounded by Wildcats quickly, and he went immediately to the ground. Blue Devils, good punt there by Landon. Blue Devils will take over 1st down and 10 on their own 26.
Now we got to have the defense come out and for this whole possession right here, just make it quick, execute quickly, and get their offense off of the field.
Yeah, we've held them, but we've also let them get
exactly.
Deep
I mean, they burned the club deep in our territory,
and put us our offense kind of in tough spots. So it's going to come down. Somebody's going to make a play here. We'll see who it's going to be. Hopefully it's one of these Wildcats on defense as they go back to their base eye. Heavy scheme here. Heavy boys up front. They got all the big guys in. And Daniel will go back under center. And he got a little movement, so Cashion's going to get a little help here. As the big boys got a little eager for Ringling, and they'll cost them 5. And so now this is kind of what we hope, get them behind the sticks and, make them get out of their normal flow and their normal plan. And so hopefully that 5-yard penalty will make them do something they don't want to do.
Give them the opportunity to make some mistakes.
Yep. So 1st and 15, ball now on the Blue Devil 21-yard line.
It's going to 11, I could tell.
Yep.
He licked his fingers.
Yep. Under center Daniel. Here it is. He hands off right up the middle. And Manning gets off a block. He does a good job shedding that block of number 20, Caleb Taylor there. And going off that left edge, Manning shed the block and did a good job, because if he doesn't make that, it's probably a 8-9-yard gain, not a 5-yard gain. So nonetheless, get him 2nd and long.
2nd long is the goal. And even though, he got 5 yards there, they made a mistake, put them in that 2nd and long position. And now let's hold them here, put them in that 3rd and long.
See how risky Coach Coons wants to be on 2nd and long deep in his own territory as they stay under center, and they're heavy eye, and they'll go right option game. No, looks to pass, now pulls it down. And Gavin Fippen out there trying to get off a block. Thought maybe he got held, but they did not call it, and Cotter came in late and cleaned that up. But another 5-yard gain, and this is a big play right here, guys. 3rd down and 5.
This is a huge 3rd down for the Ringling offense.
Yeah, and I remember these 3rd down and 5, 3rd down and 6s in 2019. I keep going back to that game. But when they convert, it's just a backbreaker, and especially when it's on their 30-yard line.
see what they go with here in the eye, staying big. Cashion needs a little penetration up front. They got to get him off the tracks here. Daniel under center, he'll take the snap and he'll pitch it right. Little penetration there for Cashion. They can't quite get him behind the line. Oh, it's going to be close. This is right on us. It's short. They're marking it 4th down already.
But I guarantee
right
you,
in front of us, and we got a straight-on view, and it is going to be short. It's going to be 4th and about half a yard.
I guarantee you, Coach Shackelford went for it 4th and down about this same exact spot. Yeah. Coons is going to say we are going to, show the power that we have up front and get this 1st down.
They're going to measure this. They call timeout for measurement, but this is short, guys. It's short by about half a football at least, I believe. So it's going to be an interesting call for Coach Coons. And, I mean, we're at the 10-minute mark, guys. I don't know how many possessions you have left, and so we'll see how this 4th down call, how this plays out. He is going to be short by about a football.
This is crucial right here for the boys up front on both sides of the ball. If you're Ringling's offense, you have got to get movement for those guys up front.
If you're Ringling, this is what you're about. This is what you're about. We're about the trenches. We're about being big and physical, and they're going to go for this.
I guarantee you this is something Coach Coons is comfortable with. His guys up front are going to come out, and they're going to come swinging, and they're going to try and knock our guys off our heels, which is what their style of football is and what they're comfortable with.
I mean, we've seen them, and you mentioned it, Chris, early against Morrison, that quarterback sneak, and I'm guessing that's what's going to happen here is they're going to come out and quarterback sneak. And it's just whether somebody for Cashion at that point of contact can get some
or a fumble, something like that.
Snap, something. But it's got quarterback sneak written all over. Here we go, 10:02. This is big pivotal point here. As we are in Ringling territory, they're going to go for this just outside their own 35-yard line. 4th down and about a football to keep this drive alive. They are in tight. This is push package right here. As the quarterback goes forward, and they will push him forward, he'll get across the line. That'll be enough to extend the drive for the Ringling Blue Devils. And not to get off track here, but I sure wish my OSU Cowboys had that package in there. In their offensive scheme, so they could have used that last Saturday. But nonetheless.
Well, here it is. That's what they live for. They live for that 4th and short.
Right.
And they're going to go for it every time, and they've got that in their arsenal, and that's what they do. So now you get the mindset back of stop them on 1st down. Be able to, kind of have a way to scheme that 2nd, 3rd down, and it's just going to be one of those games where, and quarters, where if you can get that stop on 1st down, it's going to give you the edge.
Like you said, Chad, I wish that happened in Dallas last weekend.
Yeah. Daniel handoff left side, and there's Bryce Burt. He fills the hole hard, and a great job by Cashion as they shut that one down. That'll be a no gainer, maybe a gain of a half a yard. So Cashion getting back in position they want to be on 2nd down, and they just got to fight through these 2nd longs and force the hand of Ringling to get outside of their comfort zone. I mean, we've seen it time after time. If Ringling's comfortable, they're pretty successful. If they're not, they're not successful. So it's all up to this Cashion D on 2nd and long.
They've kind of shown their true colors here in the 2nd half. What they know they've had success at and what they know they're going to have success at, that's kind of the guns that they're sticking to.
So they get no gain on that as we're 2nd and 10.
This is going to be a pass to 21. I mean, he's come in, and you haven't seen him in there, and usually when he's in there, it's
hand it off left side. That's 11. He tries to get outside to the right edge, but Cotter there, and we've seen Cotter active this 2nd half on that end. He's down.
That's not good.
He might be cramping holding his left leg there, but great job by Cotter as he holds that to a 2-yard gain, and we'll have an injury timeout here as Martinez is going to come in and take Cotter's place. But we'll see what we got going on here. Hopefully we're just cramping and we're able to
the way he's holding his leg. And you got Bryce Burke doing
Burke's working it out. He's got
it. Working the cramp out for him. But man, Cotter, let's talk about him coming in the 2nd half, and that's one of the we talk about adjustments, right? And one of the adjustments was let's bring in Preston Cotter and let him go to work. And man, he has been a kid that we've called his name all this whole 2nd half on the defensive side of the football.
And just, those tackles are so big and strong for Ringling, but Cashion, like Cotter, maybe a little undersized, but the athleticism makes a big difference in putting your foot in the ground and almost playing running back and getting by those guys and causing some havoc. So, yeah, Cotter's up. That's just a cramp. They're working it out. He's out there, Coach Robertson, Coach Wilson, and hopefully he can get some fluids in him. We need him back out there, guys.
No doubt.
He's been a big difference.
Get him back out there as soon as possible.
So we'll have a third down. We're going to call it 3rd and 8. 8:24 left. And guys, we haven't come out of their huddle yet here, or off their sideline yet. But what do you think Ringling does here? Are you playing for 4th and under 5, or are you playing to get the first down right here?
I'm playing to get the first down if I'm them. I mean, that's one thing that Coach Kuntz said that they had this year that they haven't in the past is that speed and quickness. And if you've got it, why not use it?
Yep. I just think if they get to 3rd and 5 or less, they can seriously think about going for
Fourth
this.
down.
3rd and 8 or a sack or a loss, they got to punt it away. So
I got you.
Be interesting here as they stay in that heavy formation. That little wing right. We'll have a timeout as Ringling had all kinds of time to think about it, but something must not have looked right there.
And that's going to give a chance for Preston to maybe come back in there.
Yep.
But they didn't have him in there for that possession.
He's
He had to
walking
come
back out now. He's still kind of stretching that out, but here he comes. He looks like he's walking normal, so we'll see what happens. Coach Coons didn't like that. We'll take a quick timeout here as we near the 8-minute mark. This thing's getting good, so stay with us, and we'll be right back after this break. Okay, we're back as Ringling coming back out of their timeout. Coach Coons calls timeout, so he'll have one less now to deal with as this tight game rolls into the bitter stages of the 4th quarter. They're facing 3rd and 8, so they got to come up with something good here. Like I said, a little out of their comfort zone maybe, but they definitely have the arsenal to make it happen. Cashion going to have to make a play here on 3rd and 8 and get this thing in 4th and long.
They definitely are not afraid to run it on 3rd and long.
Yep.
On their side of the football.
And they may be thinking 2 down. Like if we get 4 or 5, we'll run it again. So we'll see here. Just regular power eye. And he'll play action. Here comes Manning with some pressure. Wide open, but he overthrows him. As Cashion got bit a little bit there on that player. Not a little bit. They bit a lot on that play action. And Carson Daniel had Canyon McGahee wide open, guys. Not just for a first down, but for a touchdown.
Coons is over there just scratching his head or just stomping stomping his foot because that's what they set that play up from play one of the second half.
You only have 1 or 2 shots.
And when you miss it, that's your shot right there. And now they're having to punt, give the ball back to the Cashion Wildcats with 8 minutes left.
Nobody back for Cashion. So we'll see where this thing, hopefully the wind holds it up a little bit. Let's see what kind of bounce they get. They get a great Ringling bounce as that thing's going to bounce all the way right around. It's going to rest right on the 20-yard line. So another stop there for the Cashion D, but not great field position for the Wildcats. Have we seen a sustained drive for a touchdown in this game? I don't know that there's been more of a 4 or 5 play drive.
Yeah, on either side.
Right, on either side. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that second possession that we had, we were able to, you kind of had that big play where they thought it was a fumble, kind of break that up, but that was a drive that we kind of 4 or 5 plays down the field. But as far as a big, 8, 9 clock-eating drive, we haven't seen that. I think the most we've seen, closest thing we saw that to was one of the very first possession or the first score by Ringling.
Twin stacked right, and we'll hand it to Nabavi going right. He'll keep his feet moving, drag the pile, keep on going,
and
he'll get about
gain.
5. So nice run there by Nabavi, who wasn't a whole lot of space, but he drug 2 or 3 Ringling Blue Devils for about a gain of 5. So we haven't even got to this point in a while, guys, where we've had a 2nd or 3rd and 5 and less. So let's see if Shaq can deal something up here and put Ringling in a little bit more of a guessing game defensively.
Yeah, both the scores we got, came off of the play that they thought was a fumble that was moved back and we scored, and then Max Brown getting that pick there. So, we haven't really put a good drive together yet.
Yeah. Twin stacked left. They'll fake it to Nabavi, and now Ben will roll left.
There he is.
And Hasley, that's Manning. He'll sidestep one tackle, try to make another one miss, still going. He's finally pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line as Ben rolls left and finds Manning sitting down on the sideline at about the 33-yard line and runs it for 7 or 8 more breaking tackles. So Cashion getting a little momentum.
Yeah, and you had Landon Legas and Mason Manning over there to kind of ran a double route. One went a little bit shallower to the sideline than the other. kind of had to make a guy pick where he was going. He picked to go with Landon, and Mason was wide open there, and Ben delivered a strike to Mason, and then Mason, just like you said, makes kids miss.
1st and 10 on the Cashion 40-yard line. Nabavi will stay behind Harmon. Twins right. And now give it to Nabavi going left. Got a little space, going to have to break a tackle, but he'll break it, but there's a lot of other Blue Devils there.
I love
to help clean up the mess, but good job by Nick fighting through, because that could have been a loss of 1, and he gains 1 or maybe 2 here.
Love Nick Nabavi and his just passion and just drive, right? Because right there he was met 2 yards in the backfield and couldn't really shake the kid, but he kept his head down, did a little spin move, kept those feet driving forward and gained 2 yards on that first down and gave him a chance on second down. I know you want more, but that's better than second and 12.
So second down and 8, we'll call it. Nabavi back with Harmon. Harmon will hand it to Nabavi again. Now he got some space left side, tries to get off a block from Landon, but they're going to call a hold on Lagasse. I think Lagasse was hoping Nick might cut that up inside, and when he went outside, that kind of changed the dynamic of the block, and I think they got Lagasse holding on there.
Well,
so
Nick had him turn to the inside,
yeah,
and Nick wound up going to the outside, but I think what happened was Nick kind of stepped like he was faking towards the inside. Yeah. That got the defender leaning towards the inside, and they saw that jersey pull, and by the time he went to the outside, they had already thrown the flag.
Yeah, so big flag there, and I think that's the first hold on Cashion of the day. And like I said, it's just tough right there. You see that all the time when the defender gets locked up, and then when he tries to get away because maybe the back and the blocker are not on the same page. So,
but we've seen that happen on the other side of the football time and time again with Mason Manning, where he's trying to get to that edge there, and they have him. They're saying he's locked up on a block, I guess, but right there, that time they got Mason for the hold, and it's going to back us up 2nd and 20.
So Cashion going to have to make some hay here on second down to try to get this into a manageable third down play. Trips right. Manning will drop back, looking across the middle. Now he'll go fade to Manning. Looks maybe he drops it in. What a pass! I thought it was overthrown, and Ben Harmon dropped that in on a dime, boys. And what a deep corner route there in the execution from Manning and Harmon on 2nd and 18.
They were on the far hash. Mason Manning was lined up on the near hash, kind of gave a step to the inside, and then just cut it out, a deep, like corner post route. And, Ben just lobbed it up there, dropped it in the breadbasket for Mason Manning, and then just give credit to Mason for bringing it in, staying in bounds for the big game.
Nabavi back with Harmon. They're at 39-yard line of Ringling. Now Nabavi's going to run left. He's got some blocks over there, makes a move, spins forward, and he'll get 6. I get about 5
yards on it.
Yeah, so nice run as Ben gets out early and takes off. And he'll get 5, and it'll be 2nd down and 5. So this is right where Cashion wants to be. This clock's running down, guys. We're down to under 6 minutes, and Cashion is moving this thing deeper into Ringling territory as Harmon gains 5 on first down.
Yeah, and that time it was – I don't know if there was a little miscommunication on that with Max Brown, because he kind of stood there with his hands out after the play started. But then Ben just did a good job of getting out there and using those blockers.
Yeah, Ben kind of bobbled the snap a little bit too. Just kind of got
threw it off a
early.
little bit.
Here we go, 2nd and 5. Ben now by himself. Empty possession. Shackelford doesn't like it as he calls timeout here. He
pointing to the play clock
before the flag goes down as the play clock was about to expire. But this linesman over here got the timeout called, so they'll wave the flag off, and it'll be 2nd down and 5. So 5:11 left. Getting crazy. Cashion driving, trying to take the lead here in the 2021 Class A State Championship at UCO. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Okay, we're back here. 5:11 remaining in the fourth quarter. Set the stage here. Cashion has the ball, 2nd and 5. They are on the Ringling 34-yard line, tied up at 14. Cashion's got a little momentum going offensively, guys, and we really just haven't had really any momentum to speak of offensively in the second half. So let's see if they can sustain this as they'll stay in that empty formation. Nabavi, he's split out with Gilbert and Manning to Harmon's right. Lagasse by himself to Harmon's left. Ben will take the snap. He's looking double coverage over there with Lagasse, so he goes over to 16. He goes up. He almost comes back and makes it, but there will be 2 flags on the field as that face guarding. You know, he did a good, the Ringling guy tried to face guard, but he made contact too early. Or Manning's making that catch if that contact doesn't occur. So.
He almost brought it down anyway.
He almost made it anyway.
Ben kind of left it short a little bit and gave it a chance for Mason to kind of go up or come back to it. And the defensive back never turned his head around at all.
Right.
And when Mason started coming back to make the play, he took him down, and that's when both flags came out, and we'll move the Cashion Wildcats into prime position here, be first down and 10 from about the 24-yard line.
Great read by Ben. You know, Ben's first look right there was to Landon to his left. Safety rolled over, double coverage. He got off the look and then found Manning one-on-one, which you'll take either one of them all day one-on-one. So good job by Ben. Let's see if Shaq tries to manage his clock a little bit, tries to have the ball left. See if he throws a run in here. He will. He'll hand it to Nabavi. Nabavi tries to get outside, cuts back, and too much pursuit there from Ringling. He's still breaking tackles, but he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe lose a yard. Great pursuit there. As you see Nick, a lot of times he'll break that first or second tackle, but just too many Blue Devils in the area.
Yeah, no doubt. That time Nick did all he could right there. The pursuit and the team speed of Ringling. That's what they live on, right? Yeah. They live on that they're going to have somebody slow down the edge, or kind of have that edge protected, and then have kids coming flying from those middle positions to clean it up, and that's what happened.
Setting up for that bubble with Mason down here.
Way right, stacked up over here. Lagasse by himself to the left of Harmon. Nabavi in the backfield, and they'll go bubble. Drew called it. Good blocks right there initially. And Manning tries to fight away and just can't, but 2 good blocks. Gilbert, you got to give Gilbert and Vander credit. They had made the hole there.
Parted the Red Sea right there.
It was one-on-one, and great tackle and great finish by Ringling as number 21, Kenyon McGahee, just holds on for dear life as Manning was about to split that thing and go to the house. So here we go. Cashion's got 2 downs now. It's 3rd down and 6. We're under 4 minutes as Cashion's kind of letting this play clock burn. They want to be the last one with the ball no matter what here in regulation. As now, same thing. It's the same formation we just had. They got that trips right stacked. They'll fake the bubble. Now they'll throw it. It's out of bounds. As
throw it to Manning.
He's over there.
Mason wide open again in the end zone.
Gilbert looked like he was wide open on the post down the middle, and I just don't think Ben saw it. Vanders drew both the safety and the corner, and when Gilbert broke it off to the middle, he was all by himself. But here we go. Big play here. We got 3:34. We just don't want to give the ball back to him either, so we need to convert this and keep this drive going. Now we'll go trips left. That's Manning to Bobby Gilbert, Brown, and Lagasse to the right. And empty. Maybe Ben can scramble here, find some space, and do it with his legs. There's no safety, boys. It's mano-a-mano. Here comes Johnson, and they'll go fade. And maybe some illegal contact, but they do not call it. Do not call it. And I think they wanted Brown down the seam as Max had ran by the corner there down the seam.
Yeah, and Coach Shackford's out there talking to Ben.
Brown
saying,
right down the middle. And
you had Max Brown wide open down the seam. You got to hit him right there. And that's where I thought, when the ball left his hand, that's where I thought it was going. And then I saw it floating to the outside over Lagasse's hands. I kind of thought I saw the defensive back kind of holding Lagasse, but it was just a good physical play on the edge.
Ground a little bit,
Here we are, kind of back to where we've been. The defense has got to hold their own here.
Got to find a way here. No big plays.
Got to find a way. No big plays.
Now, 3:28. Wildcat D going to have to step up.
Right on the 20-yard line.
Get off see how aggressive Ringling's going to get here with the football deep in their own territory. And they're going to get aggressive, and we're beat deep. As McGahee's out there again, and luckily that ball's overthrown again, and that stops the clock, guys. Win-win there for Cashion as it looked bleak, but Coach Shackelford is all over. Looks like that was Lagasse and Brown back there. And you got to be smart. You got no time score situation.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got to know that they're probably not just going to run it up the middle every play.
Luckily, he dropped it there because we were beat. We were beat on
it wasn't
coverage.
really a drop. It was just a bad throw.
Again.
But you got to give credit to Mason Manning. Came flying up on that edge over there and was in his face.
And we'll run it here. A little counter action to number 8, Cashion all over that. We'll see if Shackelford will burn a timeout here. Probably not. Probably let it burn one more time. It's 3rd and about 8. Great job there by Burt.
Yeah, Mason Manning come in and just got low on
Manning and Vandruff over there. And not sure why they're running the ball at Vandruff and Manning, but
I'll let them.
I like it. So Shaq will save a timeout here. He's not gonna stop the clock yet. Cashion's got to get off the field here, guys. 3rd down and 8. They can get another chance. So gonna have to stay home on the backside. Nothing behind you. He'll play action, and Cashion's with him now, and I don't think that one's got a shot. Oh, my goodness. Brown went for the Brown. It was all over the coverage, guys. I spoke too soon. He was all over it. I thought he was going to knock it down or pick it, and he whiffed on it and hit McGahee right in the hands, and he didn't catch it.
That's the second time just in this possession alone that we have been beaten in coverage.
No, I don't think he was beat in coverage. He was there. He jumped it and was going to go for the interception.
Right in his hands,
went through his hands, and it hit McGahee in the face mask.
Oh, gosh. Living on the edge right now.
Living on the edge.
We're living on the right edge, and we're going to get the ball back here, hitting this punt. Nobody back, so we're going to play a bounce here. Hopefully that don't roll too far, but that's probably going to be a decent roll, as it will, and it will roll probably around the 32, 33-yard line. The Cashion saved 2 timeouts, and hey, you gotta love being in the station. You want the ball last, right?
You want the ball in your hands. This is what I talked about at the Paul Husky game. If you're a gamer, give me the ball with 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes left with 2 timeouts to win the state championship. Give me the ball, and I'm going to go try to win the ball game. And right now, that's where the Wildcats are. If these kids have done it time and time again, and I can promise you, they're calm and collected, but in their mind, Landon Lagasse wants the ball, Mason Manning wants the ball, Ben wants the ball, Nick DeBobby wants the ball. These boys want the ball to go win the ball game, and they have the chance right here.
Down to brass tacks here in the 4th quarter.
Yep. Got Brown out there. Maybe they'll go back to that seam route to Brown that they had earlier.
Play clock at 10 seconds.
Empty. Trips left, twins right. Ben's getting under pressure, rolls right. He'll try to cut it up the sideline, not much there, and he'll just scamper out of bounds. Wisely stop the clock. We'll gain about a yard, I think.
I was watching Landon there as Ben started scrambling, and Landon just kind of stood there. Landon's got to kind of cut across the field, find an opening, and don't just stand, because you're really easy to cover if you're standing still. Landon's got to kind of get open there to get, or turn around and block. Ben did a good job just pulling it down and getting something. But 2nd long, we talk about it on the other side of the football. It's not easy when you're behind those chains on 2nd, 3rd down.
Both these offenses, Ringling they just tried to make a play. Got to get it off. We're going to get a penalty here if we don't burn one, and we do have to burn one of those 2 timeouts. Not ideal, as we're at the 2:18 mark here in the 4th quarter, and Cashion couldn't get where they wanted. They burned their 2nd of 3 timeouts. But like what I was saying there is both offenses have had a chance here late, and nobody's really running any time off the clock or moving the ball. And they just keep, giving it back to one another. So Cashion hopefully at least, minimally here will have the ball in their hands when this clock.
The lining up thing has got to be figured out. We can't afford to burn timeouts with 2 minutes 18 seconds left and haven't made the play yet. We're on the, where does it say the ball's at? 34-yard line. I mean, they've got to make some plays happen here.
Yeah, 2nd down and 9.
With the time we have, and we have plenty of time you don't have to go for that home run. Keep doing what we were doing the drive right before last, where we got down deep into their territory, and it was just really running some plays. That we had the big play on 2nd and 18, but other than that, we were running some good routes, getting the balls out to Mason Manning in space, just driving down the field. I want to see that. Just run some of those pass plays where you're finding room in that defense, and then make the play, execute.
So 2nd and 9 here.
The way this offense has operated all year long, they're going to look for those big plays.
Yeah, they're going to try to go big. And you always got, off those big plays, those deep pass opportunities, you always got Ben with his legs, too, can scramble and get free and make a big play. So we'll see what happens here. 2nd and 9, 2:18 remaining. Cashion now down to 1 timeout on their own 34-yard line, trying to move the sticks at least and keep this drive going. Pressure here, and they'll go to screen. Nice call by Shackelford. We got blockers out here. Nick trying to find a path, and he'll be all the way out close to the 50-yard line as a great play as they brought that left edge blitz with number 11, Caden Barron. Perfect play call on the perfect blitz call.
Yeah, and we have not seen that the whole game, and that's something that we've had this year that we haven't seen the success on those screen plays as we saw it last year.
Right.
But right there, like you said, when you call it in the right situation, you go for big yardage, and that's what the Wildcats did.
Trips left. Lagasse out to Harmon's right. He's singled up deep safety over the top for Lagasse, so probably have to go away from that as they'll go bubble over to Manning. He's trying to get a block, cuts back off, back up the field, breaks one down the sideline, and he'll get 10 on that great run by Mason Manning. I think he's going to move the chains here, but he was hemmed up over there, Drew and Chris, right? About 2 yards down the field, he was hemmed up, made a great move, and then a second, broke a tackle on a second defender to extend this drive and move the chains.
And that's what Shackford says, over time and time again. You get Mason Manning in space, and he's just a problem for people. And right there,
he's hard to handle. He's hard to tackle. He's hard to bring down. I mean, he can make people miss.
There wasn't as good a blocking there by the receivers, but he did such a good job of using just the person standing there to get those yards. They get that
and
yard.
They're putting that safety over the top over there with Landon on that single side, so they're going to probably keep going back to it as they do right here. Now that one's definitely hemmed up as they were all over that, and that's going to be a loss of 3. They brought too many bodies over there that time, excuse me, and it's going to be up a 2nd and 13 here. Clock running, minute 44. Cashion only with the 1 timeout.
I almost want to see one of those where you let him drop back, fake it, and go over the top. And now that they're jumping it, we've had some success on it.
I can see Nima's concerned. He's pacing down there on the sidelines.
Might see some trickery here, maybe. As hard count there. Play clock only at 13. Cashion got time here. As Shackelford will call it into Harmon. He'll get everybody set. Twins left and right. He'll drop back. He's got a wheel route with Brown. Turns that down. Running left. He better hurry. Here comes the pursuit, but here comes Harmon with his legs. He's got space. Breaks it back to the right across the middle. Ben makes another move. First down and more. He's down the 25-yard line. Ben Harmon evades the pressure as number 11, Caden Barron, was bearing down on him. Pardon the pun. In the backfield. Ben broke loose, and that's the play Harmon can make with his legs when you put so much coverage back deep.
You said it, too. I mean, you said it. We're going to try to make those big plays, and they know it. They're going to drop those kids back in coverage, and that's what happened there. And Ben saw the room, and he used his legs to get that big first down.
Under a minute. Harmon drops back. Screen again. Blockers for Nabavi. Cuts off Ritter. Down the sideline. Down inside the 15. He's down to the 12, and he's out of bounds, guys. Stops the clock with 45 seconds. His Cashion's in business here as they got to convert. Under a minute. Big drive here for the Cashion. 1 timeout left. Kind of got Ringling reeling a little bit here, mixing it up, doing a good job on the play calls. Using bubble, using screen, Ben with his legs. They got a lot to defend, so let's see what Cashion does here.
This is a good opportunity to see the Ringling defense start to panic a little bit.
They'll sneak a run. Oh, no. We got a false start on Cashion. That's going to back them up 5. I didn't really see the false start there. Obviously, somebody moved because flags came from everywhere. But that'll back them up 5. So 44 seconds. It'll be 1st and 15. Can still get a first down inside the 3-yard line, or right around the 2.5.
44 seconds to make something happen here.
And they will go Twins left. The Bobby back with Harmon. They're going to run the ball with the Bobby here. Not much. He'll bounce it out. Try to break 1. Try to break 2. He keeps going. He gets something out of it. Not much there. Now Shackelford has to call. He won't call his timeout. He's going to let it burn after the run, so a lot of time going here.
I told you, those kids, if you're a gamer, you want the ball in your hands. 25. And right there, Nick said, give me the ball, son, and
24.
go get some yards.
They hand it off again. Nick cuts it up, trying to break tackles. He's inside the 10. Now he'll have to burn his timeout.
He's going to try to kick a field goal.
16 seconds.
He's going to burn it, I bet.
And if we could call that Pahuska kicker over real quick.
Yeah, where's he at? Get him somewhere.
16 seconds left. It'll be 3rd and 8. Not that that matters a lot. You basically got 2 plays to get it in the end zone, right?
Yes. I mean, I know you said you think he's going to try to kick that field goal, but here's what I do. I take a shot at with Lagasse or Manning, or use them as decoys. And you had Max Brown run that same play where Max Brown was wide open down the seam, or the one where Seth Gilbert kind of cuts over the middle when everybody's looking at who's everybody looking at? Landon Lagasse, Mason Manning.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you can fit screen in here again. The problem is 16 seconds, no timeouts. You can't spike it. It'll be 4th down. So whatever happens here, it's got to be in the end zone pretty much. I don't know that we can get another playoff.
That's what I'm saying. Either you're throwing it into the end zone here, or something right on the edge where you can get out of bounds.
Can we sneak a Jackson Vandriff over the middle, tight end play?
Tight end pop pass.
Tight end pop, something. Burke or Vandriff.
Or even, take a playbook, a play out of the Ringling playbook at the end of that first half last year, where they kind of had everybody motion to the left, throw it back to the right. I just haven't seen that all year.
Yeah, I've seen it in our repertoire all year, but hey, draw it up with the dirt at this point. It don't matter. 16 seconds, 3rd and 7. We're inside the 10 on the 9-yard line. Cashion trying to make it happen back to back. Harmon goes fade. He's got Manning. Deep touchdown! Mason Manning on the deep fade in the corner. Harmon gave him a chance. Mason Manning goes up and makes the play. 8 seconds remaining, folks.
Oh my!
Mason Manning goes up. I think
Neiman's going crazy.
Call that a head tap. Mason Manning going up over the top.
I think we probably just blew out every speaker that was
watching. Right?
Oh my
God! He went up and got it.
8 seconds left. Cashion just pulled ahead with a touchdown, lining up to kick goal here.
Wow.
And that's what we talked about. You're going to have somebody make a play.
Make him play.
And dang, if it wasn't Mason Manning.
He got playmakers. Extra point is good.
I'll say it now. We didn't do lessons with Lane at halftime, but Lane popped his head in about 10 minutes ago, and he said, here's your lessons for Lane. 16's going to win the ball game.
And he called it.
And he called his shot.
He called it.
He called his shot. Still 8 seconds left, but Cashion 8 ticks away, ladies and gentlemen, for going back to back.
Oh my! I mean,
back
I'm sorry.
To back.
But guys, this right here, this is what you live for. And that's what I said. Get the ball in the back of the hands of the Cashion offense. These kids are gamers. They want the ball in their hands with a chance to win the ball game, and that's exactly what they did right there.
Give it up to our coaching staff. Some great play calls on that last drive, using the screen to offset the pressure, finding Manning in the deep corner there, and we talked about all week. In state finals games, in state championship, big contests, playmakers make plays, and we believe that Cashion has the playmakers. And they have the guys to make the plays, and boy, you just saw a big one right there. Wow.
So they talked about the culture and the kids, on the sideline watching these ball games right here, and it's kind of what makes Cashion who they are and keep getting better year after year. And the same thing for Ringling. My son just sent me a video of that touchdown when he's standing on the sideline and they go crazy. I guarantee that's something that they're going to take and move forward with as they get better or get older, and just watching these kids, just say, hey, this is how you win, boys, and they did it right there.
Still 8 seconds left, so this thing is not over. Cashion has to finish this out, as Bryson Hogan's going to kick, and we know they got some dangerous guys back here that can take this thing a long ways down the field, so Cashion's going to have to finish it up. Bryson Hogan will kick off. They do have number 21, their big returner, McGahee, back. Hopefully he doesn't touch it, as Hogan will squib it. Number 5 will get it, and he will be wrapped up by Vandriff. Gets loose. He'll go left side. This is going to do it. He's out of bounds. One second on
left
the clock.
in the game.
I thought that was going to do it when he cut it back. He broke Vandriff's tackle. Broke back to the left. I thought that was going to be it, but there's 1 second left, so we're going to have to survive that second here and not let anything crazy happen.
Kel Cochran's out there about hash mark, saying do not let anything behind you.
Cashion
knock
has
it down.
no timeout, so we can't take a defensive timeout here. As Joey Wilson is riling up this Cashion crowd for this last 1 second. And I think we're going to get a timeout, Ringling. They got 2 to burn. Might as well use one and try to set something up here, but what do you think? A lot of laterals, probably going to go Stanford Cal right here to try to end this thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try. They're going to
throw everything but the kitchen sink at it.
And why wouldn't you, right? I mean, you got 1 second to try to win a ball game, and you're on your side of the football field. Go try to pull everything out of the hat. Just all Cashion has to do is have those guys back deep that are quick, that are fast, that can get there and make tackles, come up, make a sure tackle, and in this ball game, and go celebrate and take that gold ball back to Cashion for the second year in a row.
Wow. Here we go. 1 second, guys. We're going to try to make this happen. Cashion talking it over, getting, I'm sure, some version of a prevent here just to keep everything in front of them. So, 1 second. Coach Coots trying to come up with something here. And what a play. You got to give, not just Manny, but, man, Ben made a few just magical throws. I mean, putting it on a dime.
Yeah, when we talked about it the second half, Ben was going to have to settle down and make some throws, and he made some throws in the second half.
Give credit to Ringling, and their run defense has been phenomenal. They've done a pretty good job on the pass, really taking big plays. But what a football game you got here. If you paid for this ticket, you definitely got more than your money's worth today. So Cashion in a deep, deep prevent. Got to get him to the ground here. Got to get the ball on the ground, or a Ringling knee on the ground with the ball. As Daniel's back. That's a hold. So no matter what happens here, it's coming back. But the ball is on the ground. That'll do it. Cashion, your 2021 back-to-back Class A state champions. As the ball falls incomplete, and Cashion and Coach Wood and Coach Shack both get Gatorade masks. These guys know the drill. They've been here before. And it is a celebration on the field as your Cashion Wildcats will take the gold ball back to Cashion America. Great scene, guys.
What a barn burner here at UCO Stadium today. Cashion Wildcats pulled away in the last seconds with a touchdown pass to Mason Manning with 8 seconds left, and then nothing could be done by the Ringling Blue Devils, and the Cashion Wildcats are your state champions of 2021.
So great to see our fans getting down on the field. Couldn't do that last year and celebrate. Had to have a passing on the field. My son's a senior. He's running down there. He's celebrating with his buddies. It's so good to see all that.
It's funny,
and let them enjoy it. It's not just the whole town gets to enjoy that down there together.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a special time. And go back-to-back in Class A football. We talked about how tough that is, and just the parity really in Class A football. Just to go to the state championship 3 times in a row is just a feat in itself. But to go back-to-back and have to beat a Paul Huska team that is, has playmakers all over the field, and then come out here and face your foe, right? The one that took you down in 2019, and to be able to come out here and go toe-to-toe and give them credit. It was a barn burner, a knockdown, drag-out game.
A knockdown, drag-out.
And hats off to Ringling. I mean, wow, what a game. Those guys can go.
Somebody check on.
Great plan, great execution, and it just came down to, like we talked about, a play or two is going to end. That's what it was. A big play ends it, and great play there on Cashion Gold ball, silver ball coming out in the field. We're about to have all the presentations.
Somebody check on Lane Broadbent. He may have had a heart attack at some point.
So, what do you say, guys? Great season. We'll wrap this up. We want to get down there and celebrate too. So we appreciate everybody listening. Great season. What can you say? It's just more than any of us could ask for to follow this group as a team over the past few years, and 3 state finals in a row. Finished
back to back.
2 gold balls, and man, just congrats, hats off to Coach Shack for the entire staff, the entire program. Appreciate you guys, everything you did all year for Squirtle, for Cashion Wildcat TV, and all our fans. Anything last words to say here?
Hey, let's get down there and do some celebrating.
Let's do it. Signing off here. Chad Tischer signing off for Drew Baker and for Chris Gibson. We're heading down the field. Congrats to the Cashion Wildcats, Lynn Shackelford, 2021 Class A state champs.
31 years and counting, Community State Bank has taken great pride in being your hometown bank. With